Yo, man, I think you turned to a public enemy, man. Yo, you got your license?
Hey, yo, Puff, check this out, man. I'm tired of taking on the mother. Let's take it to the next millennium on these. This out, man. I'm tired of taking on the mother. Let's take it to the next millennium on these.
Man, yo, you got your license?
Hey, yo, Puff, check this out, man. I'm tired of taking on the mother. Let's take it to the next millennium on these. You gotta keep bubbling on them, platinum doubling on them. These. Hey, yo, I bumped into these cats and they was like, yeah, what's up with that Puff? He swear he nice. I said, yo, the brother don't swear he nice. He knows he's nice. You public enemy number one right now. That dash, spit that hydro.
That's that hit right there. Whom shall I fear? Throw your hands in the air. Socialize, get down, let your soul lead the way. Cause I'm that enemy that you can't see, but you wanna be.
What up, everybody? Welcome to hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. We've made it. It's Cinco de Mayo. And that's also the start of Puffy Jacket's case or trial. It's amazing how music, when we go back and listen to it, I wonder if these people was telling us stuff then. This was in 2000.
I'm living on the run because I'm public enemy number one. Let me ask you what you got against.
I wonder if that aged well.
Is it the Bentley? Is it my house?
Thank you. Y'all keep coming in. We're gonna hang out with each other today. We're just gonna keep updates on the trial and what's going on. Thinking about opening up the panel. Probably open up the panel from the beginning so everybody can just come in and talk and just share our thoughts. Listen, there's no right or wrong. We're just giving opinions on what we think is gonna happen, all right? Chill. Everybody come have fun.
Fun fling under the gun, cause they got me public enemy number one.
I just figured we would open up with that song because today he really is going to be public enemy number one. It's when it starts, right? We're doing jury selection today. Hey, good morning, besties. How you doing? Jenny, Marie, how y'all doing? How was everybody's weekend? I don't know what's going on with the lighting on here. So y'all just work with me on it, okay? We're going to get it right some kind of way. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, first and foremost, shout out to everybody that joined. Shout out to you, Jenny, for coming and watching the little YouTube event, Rise of Legends. Man, I appreciate it. It was fun. Your boy won the Cruiserweight Championship, you know. And if anybody else joined in, thank you for joining in. I didn't see your name, so I couldn't say it. But I saw Jenny. Jenny was live in the place. And, man, we just had a blast, you know. It didn't turn out how we really wanted it to. Like, my partner didn't win his Universal Championship match. We didn't win the Tag Team Title Championship match. But, hey, it's all good. It's all good. My brother Zay, the best DJ that's on TikTok right now, says I had to change my TikTok name. What happened? Jenny said that was a hell of a match, for real. It was. I'm going to be honest with you, bestie. I didn't think I was going to be able to pull it off. You know, and so I'm eager to see what we're going to do tonight. Well, this evening, on this evening show. Shout out to Global Impact Wrestling. Tonight is Monday Night Mayhem at 5 o'clock on YouTube. Check it out, man. Check it out. It's family friendly, family fun. You ain't got to worry about no, you know, outlandish stuff that you could possibly see on wrestling on TV today. You know, it's all video game stuff. So, you know, it's fun. Jessica, thank you for that heart me baby. How you doing? Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Hey, check this out, people. If you want to come up in the panel, just put a 1 in the live, and we're going to put you up on the panel. We're going to put you up on the panel. We're going to open it up early today. But I'm going to keep an eye on what's going on as far as with the trial. So when they start, we will tune in as well. So let me check it out and see if they've started. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. They're showing the court right now, so let's see what we got. Okay, so they're saying jury selection is beginning in the trial of music mogul. We're just still gonna say our code names. Puffy Jacket, who's accused of using his business empire to sexually abuse women. The trial is expected to last at least 8 weeks. Puffy Jacket maintains his innocence. If convicted, he could face decades in prison. Now, hey, okay, and so that's what they're saying right now. Of course, we don't have anybody talking or anything like that. It's just it's just them showing the outside of the courthouse. So while they're doing that, I'm gonna go back and let's go on Tisa Tell's page. Let's go on Tisa Tell's page because she reported last night, I believe it was. She was saying how Puffy Jacket trial in trouble before it starts. Here's why jury selection issues boil over. And so let's recap and see what she said. Shout out to Tisa
Hey,
Tales.
what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Welcome to the Countdown to Chaos. We are talking Diddy, the jury duty, his team, which is ever expanding in the Southern District of New York T. Baby, listen, the Southern District of New York, the prosecutors are bracing for Diddy's new trick. They think through jury, Diddy is going to either get this trial delayed or either moved to another venue. And all I got to say is, baby, not on our watch. The Southern District of New York is calling for all potential jurors to be 100% honest about when they're filling out these questionnaires, and we'll get to that in a second, who they are, what they know, and anything. They don't want to give Diddy an ounce to stand on. Now listen, baby, you know this is going to be the Super Bowl. We are going to be covering in this trial left, right, up, down.
Hey, we said it was going to be it's like the O.J. Simpson trial in the 90s, right?
However, I do want to
Rodney
point out
King
that
in
a
the
lot
early
of people don't really
situation with him in the early
understand how
90s.
jury selection in Southern District of New York work, okay? Let's get into this, and I'm also going to drop tea on what prosecutors are looking for, and I'm also going to drop tea about what people say Diddy's team is actually looking to happen. Spoiler alert, it's not going to work, but let's get into this, right?
Let's go.
Now, first, how jury selection usually goes in Southern District. Okay, you guys, listen, it starts with a random pool of people. Okay, they pull it from voter registrations or DMV or anything of that purpose. Now, this is important to know because it's not like they just take 15 or 12 people and say, okay, done. They're on high profile trials. You can expect anywhere between 300 to 500 people to have to be called in. That's right. In major cases like Diddy, and make no mistake, they're looking at this to be a major case. This is going to be, I think, on the 26th floor where the huge courtroom is. It's going to be huge. And they're even going to have a press overflow room. So the court is going to summon between 300 to 500 people to build a fair jury trial. Now, these people, they're not going to show up all at once. They come in like waves, or as the prosecutors like to call them, panels, maybe at 50 to 100 at a time. Now, you might be asking, why so many? Well, a lot of people are going to be excused immediately for scheduling conflicts.
What's up, Liz? You out of jail?
Language barriers not doing
All right,
it.
all right. So you can go live now?
Normal trials when nobody cares if Mrs. Krabappel stole a mincemeat pie off of Miss Sally's window. However, every juror, I would think,
Free Liz, free Liz.
to be on this. Because, baby, here's the thing. If you are a Diddy juror, this is big money. Most of the jurors end up writing books, especially if Diddy is found not guilty. If Diddy is found not guilty, I don't think that's going to happen, but if he is, the jurors can make their fortune by writing tell-alls. At the very least, each juror can make a nice little chunk of change after the trial's over by giving interviews about what they saw, what they heard, why they decided that. This is huge, okay? So they expect a lot of people to want to be on Diddy's jury. Now, others are going to be disqualified for bias, okay? Legal issues and bad answers on the questionnaire. Again, in the federal criminal trials, you typically get 12 jurors plus 2 to 6 alternates, okay? The alternates are basically, they're bench players in case someone gets sick, lies, or has a meltdown mid-trial. I know you think it won't happen, but it happens all the time.
Liz says, hell yeah.
So keep in mind,
Can do boxes
the
again.
verdict
Went
must
live
be
yesterday,
unanimous.
got a
So
violation.
all 12
you
have to
you walked
agree
up out
for
the
it to
joint,
hold jury.
getting in
Now, the
trouble.
alternates are the bench players.
That's
Those
all
are
right.
the
Hey,
entire
hashtag I'm
trial.
gonna say it,
But
right?
they don't vote
That's what
unless
it's
someone
about.
drops out. Okay, so the jury pool. It starts with the jury summons. Some of you guys listening to this actually might have gotten the summons. Names are pulled from DMV records, voter rolls, tax forms, everything, okay? The people show up in federal court, the jury pool. Again, this is a big case. It's going to be 300 to 500 people, okay? What's the first step? All the potential jurors Monday are expected to enter in, and they have to fill out a detailed questionnaire. Now listen, this isn't just some what's your name, what do you do? You know, it gets really, really intense. For instance, sample questions. What are your thoughts on police and the justice system? Have you ever been a victim of crime? Do you follow celebrities? Do you know who Sean Diddy Combs is? What social media accounts do you use? Why do they want this? Because bias usually hides in plain sight, okay? And get this, the lawyers can and will Google you if they think that you are lying or being dishonest, or they just want to get you out of there because they don't like your looks. You see what I'm saying? Now, the voir dire, this is what everybody's been talking about. And this is basically like legal Super Bowl. It basically is a jury tender, okay?
Man, is that normal to have 300 to 500 possible jurors on a case? Jenny says, can you imagine how much those jury members are going to be hounded by people? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You already know it. Dr. Rashida, thank you for that heart me. I missed it. I appreciate it. Thank you. How you doing? How are you doing? Yeah, and I didn't even think about them as far as if they do get selected, the money they can make from doing interviews or book deals and stuff like that. So it's a lot of money to be made here. And while we got that on pause, let's see. Keep checking in to see if we have any updates or anything.
Case, or is there too much that you already know about it? From that pool of 600, they've narrowed it down. We've confirmed to about 150 people, and they were chosen for the in-person questioning, and that is what's going to happen today. So we're not going to get the sort of bombshell opening statements from the prosecutors or from the defense. That's probably not going to happen today. Today they're finishing up the jury selection process. Of course, it all comes down to those 12 jurors and 6 alternates. So you're going to have about 18 people, give or take, who will be a part of that, who will listen to every bit of this testimony. You know, obviously, given the extensive media coverage, the serious nature of the charges, the court really has to make sure that these are going to be unbiased jurors. And that this is going to be one of the most difficult things that they may have to decide on. Questions posed to potential jurors likely to address their familiarity with the case, opinions on issues such as sexual assault, celebrity influence, the Me Too movement.
We love
things
TikTok
along those
Shop.
lines probably are some of the things that they're going to be questioned about today. And both the prosecution and defense, they have unlimited for cause. What does for cause mean? That's to challenge and dismiss jurors who may not be impartial. I can tell you from firsthand experience that they will do it. They will ask you to leave, even if you kind of want to be a part of it. I was part of jury duty over in Essex County not too long ago, and because of my role in the media, they sort of dismissed me from a serious murder case that was happening there. I digress. Let's get back to what's happening down in Lower Manhattan today. Each side has a limited number of peremptory strikes that allow
Charlie
them to
Sprinkles, good
exclude
morning.
juries
Peace and blessings to you,
without
brother.
providing a specific.
Listen, everybody, we got the panel
We'll
open
talk a little bit
already.
about
So if
some
you
of the
want to come
jury
up in the
duty,
panel,
some of the
put
jurors
one
who
in
are-
in
who
the
are going to
live.
be
We'll bring you up
Let's take a look
as a
at
guest.
these charges.
Remember, there's no right or
These
wrong.
charges.
We just
Like I said,
all
I've heard some of this bubbling up
having a
in
conversation,
years
just
prior,
talking.
maybe some rumors, maybe some whispers. Never really thought that it would get to this point, but certainly it did. Federal prosecutors allege that 55-year-old Diddy ran his music empire like a criminal enterprise, forcing women into so-called freak-offs. If you followed this case, you've heard about those freak-offs, which are these elaborate day-long sex parties involving drugs, commercial sex workers.
We love TikTok Shop. Boy, do we love TikTok
Diddy
Shop.
has pleaded not guilty. He's turned down a plea deal 10 days ago. Apparently, they offered him a plea deal, turned it down. That may indicate that his defense feels like they have a strong case there, or it may be part of a legal strategy to sort of hold out until maybe they can get a better deal. Unclear at this point, but certainly that could be on the table. His legal team claims the encounters were all consensual, painting him as just wealthy celebrity. Everybody knows Diddy. He's rich, he's powerful, he's got private jets. People want to be in his orbit, and maybe he has an unconventional lifestyle. Maybe he's into this kind of stuff, but that doesn't necessarily make him criminal. That's likely what we're going to hear.
Can y'all hear the reporter okay?
However, there's some key evidence that we really have to keep track of. Some of it you may have already seen, which is that video of Diddy assaulting ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. Allegations, of course. What's happening in that video is debated, but certainly if you've seen it, you probably have drawn your own conclusions. Cassie Ventura is expected to testify along with 3 other alleged victims that we know about. Obviously, there's going to be a whole lot more people who will testify, but Cassie, his ex-girlfriend, who's the woman in that video, seems like she's going to be one of the star witnesses in this case. Prosecutors say that Diddy used intimidation, bribery, drugs to coerce participation, and really to silence some of the accusers. That's all part of the allegations.
I'm laughing at some of the comments in the live on here. It's crazy. By the way, this source we're watching,
they made a big deal about it. It was
Fox 5 New York.
helicopters were up from the news chopper. They showed all the video. They showed them bringing the stuff outside. His sons were inside when it happened. The guns were out. They're sort of moving in, and they take away some of the evidence. Some of the defense said, "Oh, that was a big sort of spectacle intended to draw attention to this case," but that's what happened. He's been in federal custody in Brooklyn ever since then. He's tried to get out. He's tried to post bail. He's made these pleas to get out, but he's still in there. And again, if convicted, he faces a possible sentence of life in prison. While he's been waiting, since some of this initial stuff has happened, we know at least 70 civil suits, including claims of rape, drugging, assault. Those have also been building pressure sort of on the outside.
You said Charles want to join?
For Diddy. Those are different, though. So there's the federal criminal investigation, and then there's some of these civil charges. So what are these federal charges?
Is that what you said, Bessie? Rap God, good morning, brother. How you doing?
Conspiracy.
Thank you for joining us today.
Racketeering conspiracy. So I want to read a little bit from the indictment, if I can here. Part of it, which
okay.
we have a copy of, says, for decades, Sean Combs abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. So this is part of the racketeering charge. They say he did that by relying on the power and infrastructure of his business empire. Bad Boy Entertainment, everybody knows Bad Boy. Combs Enterprises, Combs Global, described as the Combs business empire. So this is the racketeering charge.
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's good, Emperor? It's all good.
Hanging in there. Let me take the volume down on him a little bit so we can hear you.
Reading directly from the indictment.
Okay.
Coming from the indictment.
I was telling Betsy, I can speak for myself, Betsy. I ain't say nothing. I see she said Charlie wants to join. Charlie want to join what? Charlie already here.
Okay. Hey, we just opened up the panel if people wanted to discuss what's going on or whatnot.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But baby oil is not a crime, man, and having freak offs is not a crime. But that's what they're saying. But that's not a crime,
It's
though.
not. It's not.
No,
It's
they need
not.
to talk about them. I don't want to say it. The babies. That's what he
Right.
was doing, and they're not talking about that.
Yeah, I
So
haven't
he
heard
gonna
that
get off on
mentioned,
this.
but a lot of that has been it's been talked about, but they're not making it profound.
Right, they're just making the sex parties and all that. He's gonna get off on this, man.
You think? Okay, okay. Y'all hear from
Listen,
Charlie Sprinkles?
yeah, man, because he's not being charged with what's really going on, like the Epstein type thing, and that's what he's
Hmm.
really involved with. Other than that, it's just all freak offs and parties like we do.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I
Everybody,
think we've all had fun, if you will. Not to his degree, but we've had fun when we were younger.
right, brother, right. It's just partying and power and money and alcohol, and drugs, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, baby.
Mm.
What it's all
Hey,
about.
it's a lifestyle.
Right.
The only thing that they're gonna have to figure. I think if they're gonna nail him or anything like that, they've got to prove that he was the one who derugged these people into doing it.
hmm
You understand?
hmm Right.
That's what I'm looking for right there. If they can prove that,
It's gonna be hard to prove that. And then they better not have no background or no drugs or nothing. Man.
that's true.
These people better be squeaky clean who's saying that he made them do something. Because the prosecutor's gonna kill him, man. They're gonna cross examine them, man, and bring out all their bad stuff to show them they're not creditable.
Yeah, and look, they're gonna have to do that out the gate if they want to stand any chance. If they got any shot, they're gonna have to do that out the gate.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
You
man.
understand?
He gonna get off because everybody going by emotions and court don't go by emotions. And courts don't go by what you think neither. They go by proof and facts.
That's true. I think another thing is I said, and I was saying before, if he's gotten into good grace, because he still has power, right? And if he's made a, I guess, mended the bridges with these high ups, they're gonna look out for him anyway.
You best
You
believe it.
understand?
That's right. You best believe it, man. I
So,
think this is a distraction on something we don't know what's going on. I think he's still working with the establishment, using him for a distraction for something way bigger than this.
do you think it could be Camel Face?
Camel Face good, man, because Camel Face is a national, man. He can't be arrested. He's not a U.S. citizen. He got passports, do not detain, uh, American national, man. So he's not under United
Ah, he
States.
untouchable. Okay.
Right, man. You remember that song he got? I don't know if you know, but it says, "It's not a businessman. I'm the businessman."
Yeah,
Because
I
people in
do.
America don't know that their bodies are the business, and there's paperwork to where you can take over the business. Other than that, the United States owns and controls you and dictates what you do because you're under their jurisdiction. You got to come back to the republic. That's where he's at. That's why he's not going to go
Oh,
to jail. Yeah. A
that makes
national
sense.
can't. Yeah, a national can't go to jail because he's under natural law. Everybody else is under man's law, which is like statutory law,
Hmm.
United States type thing. It's not law at all. It's like policies and codes.
Right.
Yeah, so he's
Right.
under law, and Puff Daddy is under policies. So they're gonna get him with the policies,
Woo.
if they get him. But that's why he's been in jail for being a
I,
part of the United States, man. If you're a part of the United States and you have a state ID, you're in their jurisdiction. So you have to do what they tell you because you signed a contract to agree to anything they do. You agree to it.
yeah,
And we don't know that. Yeah, and we don't know that, man. We're just unaware of that.
that's facts. That's facts. But okay, so Jenny was saying, what do you? But what's gonna hit him is Cassie. She says that situation is gonna basically be the. I don't know if I can say the bomb, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The bomb that's gonna blow him up in this case. Do you think
Well,
that's true?
that's already been done. He done paid her. There's nothing she really can do. But like he did it to me. He beat me up. And then what kind of charge is that? Domestic violence? That's not no prison time.
That happens in the hood all the time.
Yeah, all the time. My mom and daddy did it all the time, man. Police come, take him to jail for a day, shit, man.
Yeah, yeah. Right back out, back at
Right
it.
back at him.
Well, we gonna follow along. You gonna stay in the box, or you
Oh
wanna
yeah,
drop down?
brother.
Okay.
I'm here.
Hang
I'm gonna
out,
be
hang out. Anybody else want to come up? Come on up, man. We ain't listen. Ain't nobody judging. We just conversating. We talking. We giving our opinions on what's going on. That's all.
liability under the statute that they talk about there. Sort of getting into the legal weeds here, but certainly that's going to be a part of it. Maybe no coordinated effort. Testimonies,
But
timelines
if you
provided by the alleged victims. They're
They're not
also
gonna
going to
let us have
summarize
it. If
when
you
this
if
happened.
you look at
Let
all
you
our
know,
entertainers,
did you hear
media
was it
entertainers,
directly to you? Is it something you
they
heard
don't
on
let us
report?
keep it. We can't keep it. It's only for a little while. The riches and the fame and all that.
Objections to that.
Right. It's a different justice for them.
Both of the attorneys off
That's
to the
right.
side.
They
The
come
jurors
get
in
it
the
all.
courtroom won't necessarily be allowed to
Facts.
hear what they're talking about as they
You
decide
will
sort of
not
what
be able
will
to
be
give this to your
admissible in
children.
court
No, no, no.
when it happens. Okay, so that was count 2.
Nah,
We're gonna
that's
talk
not
about
gonna happen.
talk about some of the different charges that Diddy is facing here. I've made a bunch of
Jenny
notes.
says, "Sorry, I saw
Good
you
stuff.
put
Hopefully
one in the
you get a
chat and
chance to
got
kind of pull a lot out
confused."
of it.
Oh, okay. She
So
thought
count
you meant
3 here.
one,
So
like you was ready to come
the
up.
RICO
Okay.
statute. Count 1.
She said put one in the chat. You got to specify.
Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion.
I
Yeah.
don't want to
Count 3
assume.
is
I don't ever want to
engage
assume.
in prostitution. That's
Hey,
where the
it's
criminal
okay. We
details
rocking
are
out,
for
man.
the
We here.
indictment.
We having
Yeah,
fun.
it's all good, baby
From
girl.
about
You know.
2009 up to
Matter of
and
fact, Jenny, you
including
can come up
about
too if you want to. You know.
2024, Sean Combs knowingly transported an individual in interstate and foreign commerce with intent that the individual engage in prostitution and willfully caused the same. So the key allegation here, when you take a closer look at what's in the actual indictment, because a lot of times you sort of hear about here's what he's charged with, bing bang boom, and maybe you get a sentence or two. But what I wanted to do is really take a closer look at the indictment.
All right, let's go.
Because when you and you can find the indictment, if you go online, you go to one of the Times articles, you go to any of these articles, you can find the actual indictment that's in there, and then in the indictment you can see some of the more specifics that the prosecution and the prosecutors are alleging, because they have to provide this detail because they had to get a grand jury to sign off on even presenting these charges in the first place. And so anyway, so part of the transportation to engage prostitution, which is count 3, what they're saying here is that Combs transported, aided, abetted, and caused the movement of female victims and commercial sex workers across state and national lines.
We love TikTok
The
Shop.
intent of this transportation was that this individuals engage in prostitution. Conduct allegedly spanned
We love
over
TikTok
15
Shop
years
a lot.
and involved multiple instances of interstate and international travel. We're probably going to hear about those so-called freak-offs when it comes to this point. People moved maybe against their will, maybe they weren't sure why they were being moved, maybe they thought it was going to be for a different reason for these parties, for the enjoyment of others, maybe not necessarily something that they wanted to do. Prosecutors have to prove here that Combs intended for the victims to engage in unlawful sexual activity at the time of transportation. That's going to be a key thing that they're going to have to prove. When if you've ever served on a jury, you kind of know that eventually when you have to decide, you're kind of given this questionnaire because they know it's complicated. And part of the question is, did the prosecution prove this? If they prove this, then what happens here? And you sort of move down the list. So one of the key things that probably is going to be in the questionnaire toward the end, prosecutors, did they prove that Combs intended for the victims to engage in unlawful sexual activity at the time of
TikTok Shop.
transportation? The charge there, separate from the trafficking, because it focuses on a broader movement for the purpose of prostitution, regardless of coercion. So that's one of the things there. And I wanted to take a look. Maybe what's the defense going to say about that? What are they going to sort of try to say to downplay that? Kind of what we're hearing is that the government is going to have to prove that Combs intended the individuals to engage in these activities.
Hey, what's
The
up,
travel
Georgia Peach?
arrangements
Oh,
will
by the
likely
way,
be
Georgia
managed by
Peach.
third parties.
Um,
And the
put your
purpose of such
information
travel
in
is not
here because I
inherently
forgot to
illegal
announce
or
that,
tied to
but
commercial sex.
I can't pull it up
So,
right now.
did anyone else know? Is there going
But
to
put
be
the information in
sort of
here,
the
and I have my
outside
moderators
sources that
pin it
maybe Diddy didn't have
so
control
people
of?
can see
Even if commercial
and
sex work
come
occurred,
donate.
the defense is almost surely going to maintain that it happened without Combs's knowledge or direction. Do you buy it? Do you believe that he would be involved in this without knowing what happens? A guy who's produced and been in the details of so much different pop culture throughout the last 20 years or so. And so just kind of from a broader strategy when it comes to the defense,
Hey,
they're
niece.
probably going to be in this position where they're going to say the prosecution, maybe it's politically charged, overreach, built on flawed narratives, pieced together from former associates and civil claims. Also going to argue decades of legitimate business success are being retroactively reinterpreted through a criminal lens based on
Grand Rising
celebrity
Echo, thank you
improvement
for
claims.
joining us.
Here's
How
a
you
guy
doing
who
today?
has been wildly successful in the entertainment business for years and years and years, and now taking a look back. And if you look at it through this bias lens,
Those of you
then
just
you're going
coming
to
in, the
find
panel's open. Put a
to
1 in the chat.
exactly what the
We'll bring
defense
you
is
up in
going
the
to say.
panel.
The
We're
defense
discussing
probably
the
aim to
trial
dismantle the
that's starting today
structural
with Puffy
foundation of the
Jacket.
case, attacking intent, attacking credibility of these witnesses, the possible coordination, and kind of the motive across all three. But that's just kind of taking a broader look at everything that we're likely going to hear over the next 6 weeks. I'm talking about it here in 6 minutes, but that's kind of what's going to happen. Just to kind of reset where we are, because we know a lot of people sort of checking in, keeping track of what's happening. Lower Manhattan, Pearl Street, federal court, jury selection will begin today. Doesn't seem like any of the defense attorneys have arrived yet. Possibly they got in a little earlier. So the question is, what is Diddy's jail cell like? We know that he has been denied bail on multiple occasions, and that he wanted to come out. But think about it. I mean, this is federal court. This is federal, not federal court. This is federal custody. Far different than the lavish lifestyle, the private jets, the estates that he has been used to. And we know that this is the same, in a sense. We've heard the Post reporting about this, that this is the same location where Mangione has
Yeah,
been
there's no cameras
held.
involved. I
Mangione,
mean,
of
allowed
course,
in there.
is the
Um,
accused killer of the
as
healthcare
right
sector
now they're
in
out. They're just
Midtown
showing
Manhattan.
outside the
Sam
courthouse.
Bankman-Fried, the crypto, the crypto case that
For
we've
those
heard
coming in,
about.
we are following
All of
Fox
it kind of
5
in the
News
same
in
sort
New
of
York.
federal custody in this section, Lower Manhattan, Brooklyn, and so Diddy is kind of a part of that. You imagine that it's not, it's far different than kind of what obviously he's been used to. Question: who will the jury be if everyone knows about the case? I'm so happy that you asked that question, because we were kind of taking a look at what are some of the questions that these jurors are gonna have to answer. And yeah, here we go. I actually served on a jury a couple weeks ago, and they'll ask you, straight up, where do you get your media? Do you get it from alternative sources? Do you get it from CNN? Do you get it from Facebook? Do you get it from Instagram? I'm going to be honest with you. If I heard 75 people answer that question. Maybe 10 of them said traditional news sources. Most of them said Instagram, Facebook. So many people have Instagram and Facebook. So
Do y'all think he
a
can get a
lot of
fair
people
trial?
getting their news sources through
Because
that
I
way.
mean, like,
Maybe you do too.
who really
Maybe
don't know what's
maybe
going
that's
on?
the way you like it. Maybe you trust it more.
That's what I'm saying,
Here's
man.
you.
What I
So
mean,
here's the questions that are
Mm-hmm.
likely going to be asked.
it's too
How
emotional,
familiar
man.
are
People
you
gonna
with
judge off
Sean
emotions.
Combs? Have you read or seen
Right,
any news
right,
about
brother.
him?
Because
I don't
Do
see
you
it
follow
happening
hip
as far
hop
as
or
calling it
celebrity
down.
news? Do
you
you have
know,
opinions about the Me Too movement or celebrity scandals? Those are the questions that these jurors
the
can be
opinions
asked.
don't last in
They're
court,
also
man. Can't
probably
have
likely to be asked.
opinions.
Okay, so let's set that to the side. Let's
Right.
say, because if you're serving on a jury and you've made it this far, you've already had to say that you don't have a conflict of interest. You can serve
You
on a
do.
jury for 6 weeks to 2 months to
Okay, but
4
we
months,
can
Mhm.
however
say
long the
that.
case
That
is
don't
going to
mean that
be.
it's true, right?
And so
Right, exactly,
you've
man.
already answered those questions. You've been moved into this next stage of these 150 or so jurors who they're going to have to choose from to get down to the 12. So maybe you're a retiree. Maybe you don't really care about Diddy. Maybe you haven't been following this news. Maybe you're not super familiar with Sean Combs. You might know you might know about sort of the beginnings of hip hop and pop culture and things along those lines, but it's not something maybe you don't care about it. So you can sort of be unbiased
That's what
about
they
who Diddy
want.
is. But now they got
Yeah, they
questions about
definitely
law
need those
enforcement.
people on their
Do you
side. That's what they
So,
want
trust
for
law
real.
enforcement
so
agencies
you know
like
what
Diddy?
race they gonna be.
How many times have you heard "Don't trust the
Exactly.
FBI" over the last 10 years?
That's the only way
Um,
that's going to work for
have
them.
you or
Yep.
someone close to you had any experience with the criminal justice system? A lot of times, if you've ever been charged with a crime, or you had a relative who might be charged with something, maybe a domestic violence case or something like that, they may exclude you because they might say that you're biased here. How do you feel about cooperating witnesses or plea deals? Who else is
If
involved
they
in this?
if his
This
attorney's
is like an
smart, man,
attorney who
they would go after the
has a history
jurors and
himself,
see if they're credible. If they have any criminal background, anything.
and
Yeah, you got to. But I heard from Tisa Tell, she was saying that in this particular thing, the uh, case, the judge is going to be the one asking the questions as
Mm,
far as to the possible juror.
wow.
And she was saying how that is actually not good for the defense attorneys.
No, it's not.
So I
Because
want. Hmm?
the judge don't care. He getting paid anyway. But we battle the prosecutor. That's what we want to do.
Exactly. And he's just not, like I said, he don't have a dog in the fight. So the questions he's gonna ask wouldn't be the questions that the defense team would ask that would benefit them
Right.
or at least lean in their favor.
Right. He has to lean towards the court. Everybody does.
Right. And so that's gonna be
Yeah.
that's a slap in the face, right? Not a slap in the face, but that's definitely putting them behind the eight ball starting out.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be talking about those free costs. They're going to be talking about the parties. They're going to be talking about all this extracurricular activity. Do you have personal experience or strong beliefs that would make it difficult for you to evaluate such charges fairly or impartially? That's probably going to be one of the questions. Um, some testimony is probably going to involve graphic or disturbing details. Would you be able to remain objective and not allow emotions to influence your judgment? These are some of the
I
questions we
apologize
think
for my
jurors are going to be
notification on my
asking
other
as
phone.
they sort of sit and
Atlanta's,
they
I don't
narrow
know, we
down the
we
scope
wilding out
of
right now. Those
150 people into 12. The
Atlanta
job
Police
probably not going to
Department
happen
doing
today. This
this
might
and
take
that
another
and
2 or 3 days
updates and this is going
to
on.
have
So I
happen.
apologize in
Can you
advance.
commit to serving on a trial that may last up to 8 weeks and render a verdict
Thank
based
God.
solely
It's
on the
good.
law and facts presented?
It's going.
Not
I
because
like
you
the
want to
city
go home,
wilding
because
right now.
it's
It's
probably
early in
one
the
of the
morning.
questions that they're asking you. So setting the stage, you see the individual here waiting outside, smoking a cigarette. What's he doing? Has Diddy arrived? That's a good question. He don't believe he would come in the front door. He likely would be transported through a different way. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
as
he's
the
an inmate.
media, you may not know if he's in there. Certainly, you will know when his family arrives. His sons have attended some of the early proceedings here. So certainly, you would know with that. And just so you're aware, this
He
guy
gonna
is
get time served.
And get out.
but
That's right. That's why they didn't let him out, because they're gonna put that time served on. Just chill out, Puffy, man. Just chill out, man. We're gonna get you time served, man. You need at least a year in here,
many
brother.
occasions.
And look, and I was wondering because he did that to when Gunner was locked up down here. He kind of told him just chill out. I got you. Don't worry, you gonna get out.
That's
Rap
right.
God, welcome to the box. Welcome to the panel. What's going on, brother?
Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Yeah, I just wanted to ask about, I don't know if you know about the Minnesota woman calling the 5-year-old the N-word.
Is that at the
And
park?
yeah, it's at the park.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go
And
ahead.
she put a GoFundMe out. She raised over $500,000
I'm not gonna. I shouldn't say that, but I don't like
So
in
people
her
that's where that post
GoFundMe.
come from.
because when
Okay.
you go
Yes.
in, you have to give up your phone.
Okay.
I
That's
just wanted to
Give up
see
crazy.
your
you.
phone when you go
Yes.
into the
They're
security booth.
defending
You
this
give up your
woman,
phone.
calling a
Medical records,
5-year-old child the N-word.
got to put your phone in the car.
Okay, let me
They'll
ask you
take
this,
your phone
Rap
away
God.
from you, and they will
Shouldn't
confiscate
that
it. They'll put it in a
pretty
locker
much
where it's
prove to the
secure.
world
They
just
don't
how
want
much
you to have
racism is
access
still
to it
alive and
because
present?
No, that's exactly. That's a fact.
in a lot of
I don't
ways,
even call it racism, man. I just call it hate.
you're not getting
It's
Yeah,
it's
facts.
Racism,
Hey,
no, it's hate.
racism
It's
is
hate
when
and
you can
self
stop a
harm.
group of people from advancing, like banks and stuff like that. That's racism. You
But
know,
that's
and
telling us the state of our world right now, where we're
right.
at.
Yeah, yeah, no
mm-hmm.
doubt, man. Because that's what keeps racism alive, because it doesn't exist. So when we say
Facts.
stuff like that, that keeps it alive. When racism can only stop your financial movement, so that lady can't stop nobody financially. And then
Exactly.
whatever happened to sticks and stones, man? Come on, man. Words,
Agreed.
yo. Come on,
Mm.
man. Words, dog. We're keeping racism alive from words. Not even
Ag-
any
uh,
physical touch. Words. God
Agreed.
Yeah,
almighty.
but
Woo!
Agreed.
to donate $500,000,
Yeah, man. That's how much we're embedded in it. See what I'm saying?
that's
You know,
crazy.
so it's concerning that that's showing us we're still at a great divide in this country.
Yes,
Right,
brother. We gotta
right.
be divided. We live in the United States and no one is united. And it ain't dawned on nobody.
No more. Hey, that land of the free was just bullshit,
Oh my God, won't it? Mm.
man. I,
And it just makes me think at this point maybe we should just, if we feel like people that don't want to deal with certain things, maybe she divide the country 50-50 and
yeah,
move people and
Good.
move up.
That's right, brother. That's right, God. Good and bad. You bad, go on that side. Good, y'all come on this side.
right, right. It'll
That's
be
right.
better place.
Yes,
I'm
it
at that
would.
point,
Yeah,
because it's about what we want to do, what they want to do, and what we want to do, and nobody either way. It's not going to be right because it's always going to be that battle,
yeah.
depending on where you live and what's going on in your state. So, I mean, I'm this is insane.
We have to refrain, man. We have to get out, brother. We have to get out from using whatever we've been using that's been helping us from them. We
True.
gotta withdraw, man. We gotta withdraw, man. Shoot. We keep taking the benefits, then we gotta keep dealing with them.
It's just it's crazy because it's always been there. Like, just think. Here's something I think to myself a lot whenever I hear a broadcast or a news break, and I hear the first African American, the first Asian, the first. We're in 2025. Why is it just now the first? Why is it just now happening? Right?
Because there's still that hierarchy. You know that.
Exactly, exactly. And so for people who say, well, we've progressed, we've came so far from where we were. Nah, it's just been covered up. It's just been
That's
covered
right.
up.
Right, brother. Ain't nothing changed since 1776, brother. And that was
Nothing.
247 years ago. Ain't nothing
And
changed.
see,
Not
that's
at
the
all.
No.
that's the problem we have with certain individuals in our community that feel that, oh yeah, we are progressing, we are no, we're not. You're still
Nah.
not seeing the bigger. I hate to say this, and I'm not agreeing with him 100%, but Kanye has he's right on certain levels.
He's right a lot, man.
We're
Yeah,
not seeing it.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They paint him out to be crazy. They want us to think that, so we don't, so we miss the message.
Right,
But
man.
if
Right.
you got your third eye open, you know Kanye really putting you on.
Yeah, if you know history, then you know he right.
Right.
Because they got us thinking a certain way and they don't want that to change. So whenever the truth arises in anybody in America, you're automatically programmed to turn off because there's no truth in the world. It only appears to be, you know. Because
Absolutely.
all
Absolutely.
people say is what they think and what they believe in their opinion. There's no truth in none of that. But that's all what people give you.
That's right.
But they
That's
think,
right.
well,
Hmm.
that's right, man.
I told this to a gentleman the other day, and he couldn't see it, and I was like, "You're not looking deep. You're not
Yeah.
looking. You're seeing
Right.
certain things, but you're seeing it on your level. You're not seeing at a higher level, and
Right.
they're not telling you that. They're showing you one thing and telling you different.
Yeah. You gotta. You can't be
Of course.
shallow. Yeah.
Like we think we got the freedom of speech, right? We'll say we got the freedom of speech, but they show you on TikTok that you don't. So it's the illusion that you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ooh,
Hey, Deb, welcome in, Bessie. I'm glad you made it. Thank you, Jenny, for sending her the message and letting her know that we was live. Yeah.
I hope
If
they
you
don't do that.
TT will definitely let you know we don't have that, and you can say the most small. I mean, like, okay, I mean, example. A guy was making a comment about this whole Carmelo Anthony situation, and all I said was, "Don't be a rat," you know, RACCOON, right? And they flagged me for it, and I was like, I didn't call him nothing derogatory. That's an animal, actually. But they took that as me saying something that was hate or bullying him or something like that. You see what I'm saying? So the freedom of speech is not there.
No, it's not. It's not. And we have so much freedom of speech, but yet all freedoms are being That is the weirdest freaking thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's,
Freedom of speech, but yet
mhm.
you're taking away freedoms. It doesn't add up.
Right, right. It does. It's an oxymoron.
Yes,
I think.
and it's happening every day as we speak. And everything that this guy, especially this guy in office, is doing the opposite of what he's saying.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we're just taking it.
But see that, and that's the thing though. It's go. Let's go back to the days when we were cargo, and they brought us here. They beat us down, broke us, but then they give a little bit just so we would think that we were gaining or we had something, and then they would strip us of it again. So it's to me it's modern day slavery.
You know why
No,
though, right, man? Most people don't know why, man. We are not being called who we are in original like life. There's no such thing as an African American. That was a created term for some people that's not going to go by their nationality, who landmass they come from. So it's a
Hmm.
corporate term, and we don't
right.
own it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So we are persecuted because we're using a name that has a copyright. It's already copywritten by the United States, so they own the name African American. So we fall under the lowest status in America is black. It has nothing to do with the people's skin colors. It has to do with their social status, and white
Hmm.
has to do with social status. So black is the lowest social status. So you'll get treated the worst. But that's not
Facts.
who those people are. But they continue to agree to the term that the United States has given them in order to have jurisdiction.
Hmm.
We don't know who we are to even call ourselves who we are because they stole our brain, they stole our land, and they stole our birthright.
Right.
That's facts.
Hey,
That's
look,
facts.
and told us that we was from somewhere else, so we won't claim the benefits here.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. We have an
Hey,
existence long before them. Yeah.
and look, and the way they told us we were from somewhere else, they used a movie to do it, and Hollywood isn't real.
Roots. That's right.
Right. So I googled Roots, and it said it was a fictional movie, but shot on real land. Of course, it was fictional. We from America. We are the only Americans.
Yeah.
Only. That's how far gone we are. We think everybody else is, and we're not.
Well,
Crazy.
yeah, I agree with you on that, Charlie. A lot of people they don't they don't remember that we existed years before. you
Hey
know.
man, come on, man. 711 AD, man, is when we started. Oh, nobody else.
Yeah.
Man,
Madness.
we in our own house, letting other people move in, and we pay them for us to live in our own house.
Make
That's
it make
boiling
sense.
it down. That's boiling it down. So if I was to
Facts.
come to y'all house and tell y'all, hey man, you don't live here, I do, and I need you to pay me to stay here, you'd be like, all right. So then you might be going through some paperwork. You'd be like, yo, wait a minute, here go the lease. My name is on the lease. His name ain't on the lease. What have I been
Right.
doing? Right. It's just like that,
Right.
man. It's just like that.
Jenny says
Just like
indigenous. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
yeah.
Before because I had done the ancestry kit thing, and back way back on the census, they didn't even know what to call. So like before we became Negro. I don't know if what I can say on here. Like which is a
I hear
prime
you. I
example,
hear you. I
Right.
hear
right?
you. Yeah. Uh-huh.
They would put the M for melanin, right?
Right.
And so and then we went from that to the M word to
Hey,
blacks.
mama,
You see what I'm saying?
guess what that M actually meant?
What?
It, it meant more. We
Ah.
we are Moors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Our nationality.
Mm-hmm.
Moorish Americans, Amaru, we're from here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Armageddon Ma'aksa, the Great West. We are the true Arabs. So what they did was they created the Arabs in Africa and gave them our headdress, our national garments, and they give us Gucci and Polo and commercial items to wear.
Mm.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So if we had to go back to our nationality, if they told everybody Nationality Day, everybody put on your national headdress and your national clothes and your national flag, we couldn't do it because we
Everybody
don't
else,
know who we are.
they'd follow us anyway.
But we'll try to wear dashikis, but dashikis are made in Ireland, and then we ain't from Africa. So what headdress and
It's
natural?
everybody mixed up.
Yeah, man, everybody's in permanent costume, brother, and they have no idea.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I have
that
claimed,
causes more divide, anyways, between us.
right, man. I've claimed who I am, and the United States knows who I am. We have a peace treaty with the Christians that came here in 1492 called the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1786. And that's how I'm tax exempt because we have a treaty from when they came here. Because I know that I'm from here and they do too. So this paperwork for us to get back into our indigenous status to where we don't have to put up with the corporationals policy codes, acts, and resolutions will actually be under God's law, which is universal law, which is the republic, not the democracy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're the republic, man. The African
Yeah,
Americans
yeah,
are the
yeah,
republic from which they
yeah.
stand.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yes. So
You know,
we
I
know we to claim
actually
our
heard that from
style.
Wu Tang.
They be trying to tell us, man. They be telling us, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a Wu head, but I'm not changing that for nothing. I don't care how old I get.
Right,
You
man.
know.
So my status ain't African American. It's actually American Indian and white. The first thing they called us out of who we are was a Indian. The
Mm-hmm.
native Indians didn't come here until like the 14th century. They're Mongolians or Siberians or somebody, but they're not heirs to this land. We are.
Right.
So they just gave the native Indian our story. And so when the native Indians came here, they couldn't even come into the cities, man. We gave them squatting areas where they started building teepees. And then when the Europeans came and all the other nations, they teamed up with natives to take the land from us. So
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
by them helping take the land from us, give them
Uh,
a reservation. You know what I'm saying? But we them people, man.
yeah. I have a cousin. She's now growing up. We would always see the little infomercial where it was, the African kids that had the flies flying around them and they malnutrition and it got to a point where we thought that, all right, brother, um, you know, we thought that was coming up. I'm gonna just speak for me. I thought that's what Africa was, but now I have a cousin who went to the military and she does mission work over there, and the
Mm,
pictures that she sent, it further lets you know why we are who we are. We actually are from kings and queens. We do have
absolutely.
beautiful
Royalty.
landscape.
Yes.
You know? So it's more to it than just poverty. You
Right.
know,
That was
and
the
that's why
scary.
they wanted to acquire that land or
Right.
take us from that.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy. Yeah. Oh,
Hey man, they got paperwork for us to be free, man. I be trying to tell people, man. We don't have to be under their jurisdiction. We just think we have to because we don't know who we are, man.
yeah,
But
yeah.
they,
Well, but
but they
they
do.
what they do, okay, just like what they doing now, trying to take away the history. The history that they taught is what they want us to know. It's
That's
not the
right.
truth.
That's right.
You know.
They tell the history right. They just put the different faces on it.
Hmm. Facts.
That's right. They
And
just change the
salute to
faces.
you.
That's
Yeah.
it, man. Just change the faces. Keep the history the same. But they did it,
Exactly.
not us. You know.
We can't have the credit for it.
Matter of fact, I just sent off for me a 9A EIN to be tax exempt through the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. I'll be placed on the zero file. I'm going to file that. I'm going to send that off today. I just finished talking to the IRS this morning. You get an EIN, a 98 EIN that's automatically tax exempt. And then they're going to ask you what treaty are you under. And we have a treaty already with the Christians when they came in 1492, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, and that's what I put down there. So I'll be placed on the zero file forever. This is
See,
this is
I didn't know that.
yeah. Because the Treaty of Peace and Friendship is when they came here, right? Our sultan said that the people here, which were us, that we don't be taxed because they're going to set up a corporation called the United States. So they wrote a treaty out that they don't tax us. But we were never told, and then we started signing contracts. So now we got to pay taxes under that contract. But we didn't know we never had to do that because we don't know about our treaty with the Christians. Oh
Okay, so
my
you saying they
goodness.
kind of slipped that in the back door on us? We didn't know.
Right, of course. They told us their history, which was ours, but they just put their faces on it.
Gotcha.
It's
I
a
got
lot,
you.
man. Yeah, so I'm tax exempt, man. On my passport, I don't even have a state ID. I use a passport. And we're nationals. The only nationals can be of the people of the land. There's no such thing as a white nationalist. Only black people can be nationals because we're of the land. So I am
Yeah.
under the Department of State. I am an American national. I have a 5-star passport. Do not detain under any circumstances. And if you feel that he's a terrorist, contact the FBI. I don't have to have license. I'm under the Republic. And it's the way you fill out the passport because it's going to ask you: are you applying to be a U.S. citizen? Are you applying to be a non-citizen, or are you applying to be a national? And a national is the highest citizen of any society, and that's who African Americans are, but they don't know it.
That's
So,
fact.
so on the passport, they asked me, was my mom a U.S. citizen? Was my dad? Am I? And I put no because we're not U.S. citizens. And then I got a letter from Homeland Security. I did a immigration status check to see if I was a U.S. citizen, and they sent me a letter back saying that I wasn't. So I attached that to the passport because no one's a U.S. citizen, not one person. That's a corporation, and you're not a corporation. You're,
Dang.
you're an American, man. American and
Yeah.
United States are not the same. So my ID says the United States of America. Everybody else's ID says a state. See what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Right. So
Right.
people say
Right.
they're Americans, but they can't prove it. Nobody can. I can. My paperwork says American on it. American Indian at that.
Mm-hmm.
American more with nationality that I put on the public record that I actually want a driving ticket with because I'm not Negro, black, or colored. I'm a Moor. I'm coming with a nationality. I'm under the republic. So now I'm under natural law, not policies and codes. So they can't try me with policies and codes.
See, that's
They
right.
got-
But see, you gotta share. You gotta get that out so people know. You gotta teach people.
well, man, you have to teach yourself. It's like leading you to the water, and now you start reading books yourself.
Right.
Uh,
Right. Well, tell them like give them a starting point. Okay, this is where you go, and then you
hey,
know.
man, people say that, man. I got kicked out of panels 100 times on Facebook, man. I mean, on TikTok, man. Oh my goodness, brother. They tell me I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. I need to go back to school. Who is this idiot? I promise they give me that.
Well, yeah, that's because they don't know. They don't understand.
Yeah, they don't understand because they think the world they're living in, there's truth in it, and it ain't. None.
Mm,
You see how you
facts.
said earlier, we're just giving our opinions. We can't give the truth because we don't know it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just opinion. It's just
And
opinion.
then my girl down here, she said, she let her statement off with, I believe. See what I'm talking about? No, you're supposed to
Oh
say
no, I
what you.
missed that.
Yeah, she said, I believe that they are trying to put ye in a.
Oh. Well, I said that too. I think they're trying to make him seem to us like he's losing his mind or delusional too. Uh.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. So I'm saying
Oh. Okay.
that ain't no I think. They
He's,
is.
he said, "I think you know what you said."
Right. You see what I'm saying, man? We don't talk like we know anything. Only time we talk like we know is when we're at home. You know,
Yeah.
if you don't take a bath, you will be dirty. That ain't no belief. That ain't no opinion. You know,
That's
if you don't put
facts.
no gas in your car, it will be on E. That ain't know what you think. That ain't what I believe. That ain't no opinion.
Certified. Certified.
Right. It's
Hold on.
just when we come outside our home, everything becomes a belief in what we think in our opinion.
Yeah, that's true. Hold on, let me get an update on here real quick. 9:45. Judge, and I'm probably gonna pronounce his name wrong. Aaron Subramanian started the proceedings shortly after 9 a.m. by making several rulings on what things experts would be allowed to testify about when they take the witness stand. So that's the latest
So
update
that's what
right
the judge is talking about there. That several rulings on what things experts would be allowed to testify about when they take the stand. So that's our first little update. It's a little update, not a big one, but that's sort of the first update that we got there.
And then they call them experts, man.
10:20
See that
Monday
that'll
morning.
put
We are
something in their
streaming
mind too,
on
like they know what they're
YouTube.
talking about.
Yeah.
And we are
Listen,
outside
we
Wall
have
Street,
Right.
Lower
a
Manhattan,
situation
the
with
Diddy
my
Trial.
cousin that's currently
Here we
incarcerated,
are.
unjustly
Mhm.
All right, so
incarcerated.
check back in with us later.
And
We'll be tracking this
I'm
throughout the
going through
rest
the
of the
court
day. You
papers because
can
I'm
check
trying
out
to
all
get
our
him out.
updates
So we'll go
on
through the court papers,
fox5online.com,
and
our
they
YouTube
bring up
page,
the
and the Diddy
ME
Trial for
and how they
videos. All right,
introduced
6
him
seconds.
when he came on the stand
Uh-huh.
was like he's like the world renowned medical examiner, like the best. He's got all these degrees and accolades and stuff. Let's pause because they're
Right.
done with the updates right now. But and so I'm reading it. I'm like, okay, okay. And so when he gives his account now on how
Mhm.
the victim was, uh, he was saying
Right.
that the bullet traveled at an upward angle, right,
Uh huh.
through the victim's body. Okay, so now when the prosecutor has their, I mean, yeah, the prosecutors have their witnesses, and their witnesses are saying that my cousin stood over the victim and did that to him. So I
Uh
said,
huh.
okay, well now that right there, they just pretty much told on themselves and proved that they don't have the facts. Because if you're saying this man is an expert,
That's right, brother.
he's telling you that it traveled upward, but these people are saying that my cousin was standing over, which would mean the ammo would have to go at a downward
That's right.
trajectory, right?
Right.
Okay, so you see what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
can't say somebody's an expert.
That's right,
That-
man. Hey, man, a degree in America, degrees and PhDs are nothing more than a work permit. They cannot go into
Period.
that field until they have it. It don't mean that they're intelligent or nothing. They just need a PhD. It's a work permit. If
Facts.
you needed a work permit to be on this podcast, you would get it, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, without doubt. And so we have to be careful and mindful when we say that expert.
Right. Right. That's a trick mind thing to people, yo. You know what I mean? That's
Hmm.
a trick. I already trust you. I already know what you say gonna be true because you went to school. Oh my
Right.
God.
Right.
Knowledge and education are two different things.
There you there you go. You pay for that education.
Right.
You got the
Education.
experience.
Hey man, education is training. Knowledge is
Hmm.
awareness. Like what do you really, really know?
Right. You don't went through it.
That's right,
Knowledge, you
man.
don't went through it.
That's right.
So yeah, man. Hey, the panel's open. Anybody want to come up? You're more than welcome to come up. We are discussing. Well, right now we're on pause. We don't have any updates or anything going on, and we just kicking it, man. We just enjoying each other's fellowship. Come on in.
You know what I
Come on
mean?
in.
Like minds, man.
Exactly, man. Listen, no right or wrong. We just in here
That's
having
right.
fun. You never know.
Hey
We could
man.
learn something from each other.
Hey man. Hey, that's what I look for, man. If you ain't learning something every day, you might want to check your pulse. My mom told me, my mama told me, you ain't never wrong. Whatever decision you make can't be wrong because you made the decision.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's
the decision
hey,
you made.
that's logic too. That's true.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Told me that when I was a young man and when I got older too.
Yeah, but shoot, I done made a lot of decisions that led me to where I am right now. So, it's what you look at it, man. It's,
It's
it's, it's
learning, man.
lessons.
Right, right.
You know,
Because you can't go from first grade to 12th grade. It don't work like that.
it don't, brother, it don't. And so, I feel like when you start to say you took a loss, you took a L, you took a loss, well, then you already putting yourself behind. You took a lesson.
There
Now, what
you
you
go,
do
man. I
with it
like
is,
it. There you go. You took a lesson.
yeah,
God almighty. And that's the way it's supposed to be said.
that's it. That's it,
That's
brother.
it.
That's the only way to look at it.
That's right. Don't nothing be a failure but a try.
That's right. That's it. And you learn from it, I tell people that all the time. I try to tell my kids that all the time. Like, listen, if it didn't go, it's not a loss. It was a lesson. Now that you had that lesson and you saw how it turned out, now you take your books and your notes and you apply them. And then,
That's right.
you see,
That's right. Don't do the same thing expecting different results. Don't do
nah,
that.
because it ain't going to happen. I
Nah,
mean, let me tell you.
that's a
And I tell them,
oxymoron.
look, dad has done the same thing before and came up with the same results. And so now I know not to do them things no more.
That's right. Therefore, I can tell you, because you're going to go down the same path. Ain't nobody life no different than nobody's.
Nope.
Times are the same. My son had his first child, right, years ago. And he was playing the game, and his wife wanted him to give her attention and the baby attention, right? She was like, the baby wants you to stop playing the game. She wants attention. So I was sitting in the room, and then the baby just started screaming, crying, right? She said, see, she doesn't want you to play. I said, give me the baby. Give me the baby. I went in the room, laid the baby down, see where that girl dug her fingernails in her leg just so she can cry, so her point could be the baby
Come
don't want
on.
you to play the game. I showed my wife, I said, look what this child done did to this baby. I knew the baby just don't cry like that, man. She told me children ain't the same when you was young, Mr. Charlie. They're different. I said, baby, a child cry when they're hungry. They cry when they sleep. Ain't nothing changed. What are you
Ain't nothing
talking about?
changed. And look, I got 8 of them. I'm telling you.
Me too, brother. Me too, man.
You see,
I got 15, 16 grandchildren. I think 16.
see, so and that's the fact that she did something like that is just that's crazy in itself. Like,
Right, man. Right. She
man.
wasn't right. They didn't last. Don't nobody last. Not the
Okay,
young.
good, good. I didn't
Yeah,
want
they
to say
ain't
nothing,
last.
but I was thinking, I hope he
Yeah,
ain't
they
with
ain't
her no
last,
more.
man. Yeah, they ain't last, man. He went in the military, went to Colorado, one of them girls got him.
Hey, as long as he's happy now.
No, he ain't happy now. He's trying to get rid of the one he with now.
Oh man. Oh God. Okay, so
Tell myself,
what's the
I tell
hold up?
myself, I said, man, you see now it's financial because they in deep in debt. So
Hmm.
now it's who gonna pay for the lawyer? He said he gonna go and do it. He gotta get rid of that gold digger.
Hey, that's that lesson we're talking
That
about.
lesson, hey, that's that lesson. I
That's
was
that lesson.
telling him. I was telling him. You know how
Yep.
you bring somebody home when you was young, your mama say they ain't no good for you. Somebody, how
Hmm.
you know they my friends? Not knowing they don't have friends like that themselves.
It,
You
it,
know, through their younger years.
yeah,
It's all the same.
experience.
People are all right. Goes back to experience.
Yeah, man. It's God rest her soul. My cousin the same way. She just had, man, I tried to post her story on here, but they wouldn't let me. But
Yeah.
she met a guy, and uh, she brought him home. My aunt was. She didn't say nothing to my cousin, but she got a vibe from the dude, and
Right.
she didn't like him. But she didn't say nothing to my cousin because she didn't want to start nothing. And then, she grown, she's gonna let her do her thing. Well,
Right.
don't you know that boy ended up unaliving my cousin? So
What?
yeah, so uh, I, I wish they would let me post it on here. Uh,
Wow. You
I
might
have to
have to
send you
edit
the
it.
link.
Yeah, send me the link, man.
Yeah, I send you the link, and you gonna know I'm telling you the truth because you're gonna see me on there. They got from the news clip. You'll see me giving the
Right.
interview.
But you
So
know what, man? If she would have said something, she still wouldn't have stopped seeing him. You
she
know what I'm
would
saying?
she wouldn't have. She
My
wouldn't have.
sister said her boyfriend hit her. I went over there and whooped his ass. Damn it, she back with him.
He's not gonna save that, you know. But the reason I brought it up is because my aunt had those experience with men that she
Right.
already knew that hey, this ain't gonna turn out good, you know.
Right.
And so like you said, when we have the experience growing up, we can convey it to them. Now, what they do with it, like you said, unfortunately, it's a new generation, so they think that they invented the wheel, and
That's
so they don't listen, right? But you know,
I tell people I'm from the old school and the new school's the food.
and they are, and they are like I love my second oldest daughter. I love her through and through, but it seems like when I try to protect her from something and she don't like how I'm saying it or she don't like what I'm saying,
Right.
we end up butting heads. And I'm just like, she's like, we don't move alike. I'm like, you right, we don't, because I learned and stop. You keep going. I don't
That's right.
like.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And that ain't what she was talking about, but you had to put her in the right perspective.
Yes, yes, that's exactly what she wasn't. Because she likes to. Oh man, she likes to think that she's about that life, but she's never had to grow up like that. So there's no reason to be
right.
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 And
Right.
and,
Right.
and like me and her mom, we were in the streets literally, but
Uh-huh.
and she hasn't had to do that. Now she's chose to be around people who do it,
Right.
and so what I try to get her to understand is, well,
She take after y'all, man. She just
she
going to have to go through it
just
and
gonna have
hope
to go
she's
through it.
strong enough to survive like y'all did. You know what I'm saying?
Praying, I pray daily.
Yeah, man. Because my son, I was like that too, and he's the only one that took totally what I did, man. Totally. I got shot. He got shot. I quit school. He quit school. You know, he got baby mama. I got baby mama. You know.
Got me down to it. Yeah,
Hey,
man.
man. But the rest of them is between me and the mom, or more like the mom. But he took right after how I lived, man. Crazy.
It is. It is. I feel. I think a lot of the problems we have too now is her mother. God rest her soul. She passed 2 years ago. But
Uh,
she always would, and like that was our argument, me and my kid's mother.
uh,
And because I'm like, listen, hey, Squeak, I call her Squeak. I'm like, Squeak, you know, you got to stop being a friend and be a mom. Like, I'm
yeah,
not calling you a bad mom. I'm just trying to say, like,
you got to
okay,
separate. Yeah.
you got to separate it because, and she's like, well, I just don't want her to be mad at me. That's not gonna save her,
Right.
you
That's
know.
not what's gonna save her. God,
It's
almighty.
not. It's not what's gonna save her. Now, we and see, we had already lost our son. He was hit by a train, walking on the
Wow.
train track. So I told her, I was like, let me tell you. Now, I'm arguing with you right now, and I'm mad because. But let me tell you right now, because I see you not listening. I'm gonna put it to you in this perspective. I'm uninterested in losing another child.
Right.
Okay, so now I'm having a hard time understanding why she wasn't there with me because that was her child she lost too. But in any event, when she got towards the end of her life, she started to say, "You know what? Look, I'm not gonna do that." But instead of saying, you know, to our daughter, you can't do that because it's not good for you. You shouldn't be doing it. She would always say, I'm not doing it because I don't want to hear your daddy's mouth. I don't want to hear your. I'm like, nah, don't put it on me. I'm saying, you,
Right.
you still not doing what I'm telling you.
Right. Enforce your law, baby. Make a law and
Yes,
enforce it.
yes, you gave birth to her. She didn't give birth to you.
Right.
Like,
Right.
so, but
Right.
yeah, man, it's just it's a different culture. It's a different time. And so I'm at a point now because we're starting this new spiritual journey too. So I'm at a point now where I'm realizing I can love her, but she's still gonna make her own choices, and
Yes.
like you said, she's gonna have to learn them lessons on her.
That's it. That's it. We try to eliminate the lessons. You're gonna learn some, but you ain't gotta learn a lot of.
You right, you don't. Echo says can't be your child's friend. Got to be a parent because they'll have enough friends, but only two parents. That part right there, moderators, can we pin that comment right there? Because that's exactly right, Echo. That's and I was trying to tell my baby's mom. My baby's mom. I'm sorry, my kid's mother. Because we have multiple kids. Uh, you are. They are not to influence you. You supposed to be the influence on them. And unfortunately, she is an influence on our daughter. It's just the bad part because she was an alcoholic. You know, that's
Uh-huh.
ultimately what took her life. But um, I try to let her know like you gotta inspire them. You gotta uplift them. You got to, you know what I mean? Like don't let what they do influence you. Like don't be hanging out and slinging the N word out there or using their language or just the mannerisms and stuff. Like no, 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 we don't do that. We don't do that. So I mean, at the end, like I said, she kind of took my advice, but she kind of didn't because she was putting it on me. And you can't be scared of your kid, man. That just don't work.
Oh man, you know what, brother? I love a woman who ain't scared of their child, no matter how big or old they get, man. I like to
Yes.
see that. I like to see that still. Hey, what? Hey, man, a lot of women, when that boy gets 16, you start looking up at him. She cut back a little bit. But the strong ones, I love them, man. I love to see them, man. In action.
Man,
I like to see it in action, man.
I do too. And you know why? Because that's how I got to see my mama. I've told this story before to my viewers, and I'll tell you, brother. I remember when I first got jumped into GD, right, as a folk, and I thought that I was king shit of Turd Island, right? Now I'm 15 years old, out here hanging with older people, out there doing stuff we ain't had no business doing. So I come home and I still got that aura about that swag, thinking I'm still bigger than you know what I mean. And so I called myself running away. I didn't want to go to school no more. I didn't want to listen to my
Mm-hmm.
mama, so I ran away. Well, dummy, she knew where I was. She came, and when she pulled up, the older guys, the OGs that I'm hanging with, they like, hey, you need to go ahead and go with your mama. I'm like, hold on, now I don't want to go. I'm gonna stay here with y'all. I'm hang out with y'all. They're like, nah, you need to go with your mama. And I'm like, man, all that stuff y'all be doing in the street, y'all trying to go with mama. So, anyways, I get in the car, man. I go with her. We come home, and as soon as we get into the house, she start going off at the mouth, right? And I knew she bruised easy, so I punched her in the
Uh-huh.
arm, right?
Uh-huh.
and punched in that arm. When I tell you, she gave me a 3-piece and a biscuit with a drink to go with it. The way
brother.
she hit me, I couldn't even fall. Cause look, when she hit me one way, she caught me with the other hand. So I go back the other way. And then she caught me with the. I was like, and then after the third one, she grabbed my little sister's hand. She's like, "Come on, let's go to bed." Man, I'm laying in between the washer machine and the dryer, and I'm like,
Got you when
"Yo,
she saw you.
right?" I just got bodied by my mom, right? You know. But I was 15, man, and I never did it again. You know what I
Right.
mean? See, I'm
Right.
crying now talking about it, not
Hey man,
because
hey, man, my grandmother, I used to poke my lips out when I got mad to fold my arms. My
yeah.
grandma said, "Put your lips back in your head." I shook my head. No, man, a thunderous slap came across my face. Man, I saw everybody behind me. I ain't lying. I ain't never talked. I ain't never gestured to her like that ever again.
Just that one time. That's all.
No, I just said no, but I shook my head furiously. No, boy, she slapped the crap out of me, man.
Man, you got me
You ain't
crying and
gonna do
laughing.
that to me like that. Oh no, you're not gonna respond to me like that. Oh no, no, no.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's the era we grew up in. You know what
Yeah,
I
we
mean?
did.
Like we
Yeah.
had consequences.
Yes, we did. We knew before you know it was always because you know what's gonna happen if you get caught.
Yes, yes. And in that time, brother. Hold on, I got. Let's see who this guest is. I want to come up. Hold on one second. Oh, just saying. Okay, come on in, Bestie. Come on in. And see, at that time, we grew up to where you got a community, but where you acted up at is where you got beat at.
Where you
You
got
know,
beat at? Who
right?
made all this popcorn? Charlie and Michelle. Me and my sister helped them make the popcorn, make a mess. We went home. My mama said, "Nope, go back up there." But they mama said, "Yeah, y'all gonna get it too. Get on up there in that room too."
It ain't done. You getting the whipping off? Yes, yes, man. So that's how we grew up, and that's what I try to put on my kids, and she just didn't.
Our neighbors cared about us, man.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah, they
village.
cared about us, man. Yeah, they did, man. I
Hmm.
Hey,
just see
so
Charlie and Kelly running down the street with no clothes on. What they call their mama? 'Cause we used to do truth or dare back when we were little.
Oh.
Somebody see you, they calling other women, and they get back to your mama.
Hmm. Yep. Get
Yeah.
your butt whipped. Hey, Jesse.
hey, yeah, I got my own little story. My mom, she was outside talking to the neighbor, and I was probably 12, 13, ignorant little child. I'm interrupting her, mom, and she wouldn't
Yeah.
listen to me, so I kind of like shoved her shoulder.
Hmm.
My mama shoved me all the way in the house, over the bed, whooped my ass with a belt, shoved me all the way back out, and made me apologize to that neighbor for being disrespectful.
See, see, see.
My ass hurt for a week. I'm not even lying. And I never did that again.
And see, and that's what's needed, right? Like that's why we where we are right now. Because I'm gonna tell you this. Hey, peace and blessings to you too, conscious. Welcome in, little brother. I'm gonna tell you too. Remember, and I don't know. I'm gonna tell you from here in Georgia, when we were little, when we acted up in school, the teacher had free reign to take us in the teachers' lounge. They get another teacher to come up to witness, but they take us in that teachers' lounge and they paddled us.
That's
So
what I didn't like. I didn't like that part.
I,
I
I
said,
didn't
"Mom, you
either.
gonna give me permission to hit me?"
Yes. and,
See, and I think like that my daughter, she's so timid and kind-hearted, she wouldn't need that. But my boy, I tell you, they'd be taking him in that office daily.
listen, I was one. I was like your son then.
I
I
was
was
that guy too, man. I was that guy. Get a paddling. You want to go outside or get a paddling? I said, I get a paddling.
yeah, I'm ready to go play.
Get it
It's
over
recess.
with.
I want to go play.
Just get it over with, yeah, so I can go about my business.
Yeah, yeah. But I as much as I guess I just look at it like today when they took all of that away, and it seemed like they gave the kids more of an
More
upper
power.
hand. Yeah, 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 yeah. Right, right, Bessie.
Yeah,
More
like you
power.
can't do that and then they threaten you. Like back in my day, my brother would threaten my mom, and she said, "Go ahead, I'm gonna beat you till I get here, though."
She gonna knock. Look.
Go ahead.
Listen, I be trying to tell my wife now, and I love her, but I be trying to tell her with her son, like when he get mouthy, because I always tell him, all right, just meet me outside in the yard, because
Hmm.
you know, but with her, she'll just I don't want to say it. Well, I can say it. Christian, you better leave me alone. Go on in your room. Get out my face. I'm like, no, why you don't chop him in the because let me tell you about your mother-in-law. She had no problems. And let me tell you, she was awesome with a shoe. I don't care where I was in the house, right? She boomeranged that shoe and it found its mark,
Bounce off your
you know,
forehead.
right there. Bing! And I don't know how I cut the corners of the hallway or anything like that, but the thing about it was she was raising me on her own at that time, on her own. You understand? So what I grew up watching is regardless of how old you get, she was still gonna be my mama, and I was still gonna respect her as such.
That
And
part.
and so when I was dating women who had sons, I expected to see that from them. To my wife, that's what I expect her with her son. So and I mean, sometimes it causes us to have a little conflict of interest because she's like, "Well, I grew up getting whippings, and I know how it feels." And I'm like, "But you alive, ain't you made it? Like it's not a bad thing,
And
you know."
sometimes it's necessary.
It is. It's very necessary sometimes, especially when
And
they think that they can talk
like
to you any kind of way.
exactly. And I'm not saying like turn on black and blue or nothing like that, but a simple
No.
ass swatting goes a long way.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just talking about, like I said, we're just talking about discipline. We're not talking about abuse, right? So and so
Absolutely.
you're right. You're right. And now when she got into a little altercation with her daughter, and her daughter called the police. This was years. I think this was before I even came in the picture. But um, her daughter called the police, and the police told her, "Hey, as long as you don't leave no marks, you know,
Hmm.
So I don't know. I just
I
feel
think
like
I
people should do that.
yeah, I think it's the fact that if you don't leave a mark that lasts more than 24 hours. So basically they don't want you out there bruising them, but
Yeah,
you can give them a swat.
yeah, yeah.
Y'all
Get
want to
them
know?
back in line.
Y'all
Yeah,
want to know why we got whoopings when we were younger? Because our parents
because
didn't
we
know
was
no other way
badass
to.
kids.
They didn't know no other way to chastise us.
True,
Yeah,
true.
Look,
they ain't know no other way but to hit you. Let me tell you something. If somebody hit you, you going to do what they tell you to do, even at an adult age. If I say pick up that piece of paper, you say no, when I hit you across the head with a bat, you'll pick it up out of
You
yeah,
go pick up
fear.
that paper.
yeah, and that's what it instilled. Instilled.
Yes, out of
It,
fear. Yeah, because I was scared, man. I'm talking about,
hmm
woo, I done walked in that lake and got muddy, got to come home. They told me to stay out that lake.
Boy, look at here.
I'm about to
Look
get
at
a
True,
killing. I'll be crying on the way home. I know what's
yeah,
but
going to
then
happen.
that fear turns to respect. At some point,
Yeah,
you're like, I
yeah.
don't want to do
yeah,
this because my
yeah.
parents don't approve of it, so I'm gonna respect my parents.
No, but
You
they
You
going
know?
to kick
right.
my butt.
Yeah.
You're right. And Charlie, to your like, my grandfather was like that. Like he had some. My uncles they played softball at the time and baseball, so they had some baseball gloves in his chest thing that he had on his carport, and he already told me don't mess with him. And and my grandfather, God rest his soul, I love you, Grandpa, but he sounds like you know that song by the Temptations, Silent Night, the deep voice dude that be singing.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah.
my grandfather sounds. So he came in from work one day, and me and my cousin, I had done gave my cousins the gloves. We gonna play catch. Look, I'm gonna put him back up before he get home from work. He ain't gonna know nothing. Let me tell you how that went.
Hmm.
Hold on.
You smart in the him.
Grayson, Grayson, come here. You had his baseball gloves?
I said, yeah, Grandpa. I had the baseball glove. This is what he said to me on my butt, and I'm talking about when he hit me. I thought I was gonna need a butt transplant. I thought everything had broken in my butt. I thought he put a new crack in there. So but the thing about it was the fear. Yeah, now I knew. Hey, I don't care how much I want to play baseball.
Dale Murphy ain't coming to save me. Bob Horner ain't coming to save me. Really, Willie Stargell ain't coming to save. They not taking the butt whooping for me. So I'm not fixing to touch these baseball gloves. You understand?
He
And
didn't have to
so
tell you again, though, did he?
never again, never again. I ain't even like the
And
smell
what
of
you
leather
do,
for a
man?
long time. Boy, and it was,
What'd you
you
do,
know, it
man?
was.
I missed it, man.
Oh, I so he told me he had my uncles had played baseball and softball. They had baseball gloves that he had bought for them, and it was in his treasure chest thing that he kept on the carport. But he had already told me not to mess with them. Right? He told me not to touch them, and so when my cousins came over and we wanted to play baseball, I was like, "Well, shoot, we can use these gloves." And I told him I'll put him up before he get home from work. He won't know.
Right.
Man, he got home and we left him out in the yard. We left him out in
No,
the
you
yard.
didn't.
But
Not nobody.
he looked out that door. He said, "Grandson, grandson, come here." He pointed out the door. He said, "You left them gloves out there?" I'm like, I want to say no, but the
Damn.
gloves is right there. So all of them is right there.
Just caught red-handed.
Right.
You said
Like
I
if
want to say no. I can't. Boy, I can't.
yeah, if I say no, it's gonna compound his butt whooping. So I just might as well.
Woo!
I
You had no
said,
sense to know that. That's for
I
sure.
did. I knew, and so like I said, his voice was so deep. Like the whipping really didn't have to come because the deep voice is
That's
scared him.
right.
But he was
That's right.
like, I said, "Yeah, Grandpa, I did. I had him." He said, "Didn't I tell you to leave him alone?" I said, "Yes, sir." And
No,
before I
yes,
could
sir,
get the,
me.
I didn't even get the out real good. Yes, pow. And man, my butt was like, "Listen, I can't stay on your body no more. You don't, you causing us problems." I honestly thought I was gonna need a butt transplant because I felt like he knocked mine off. But
Yes,
like I
sir.
was saying, I knew right then that regardless of how much we wanted to play baseball, we wasn't gonna
You
touch the
knew.
gloves.
That's
Period.
right.
I knew.
That's
I
right.
knew. Now, we
That's
we
right.
can get a tennis ball and we can catch it that way because we can't use the gloves.
Yeah. They was breaking us, man, and they hated to do it, but they knew that's what it would take. You know, a talking one
Yeah.
gonna take. I already done talked to you. I told you don't touch them. That ain't gonna
Yeah.
do it good. I got to put some bodily harm on you, man. With your mind gonna let you know not to do this no more. I hate to do it to you.
That's
I
crazy. He
love
said
you.
that.
Yeah,
Yep, there it
man.
is. You're
Yeah.
right.
Because they hate to do it, man. Because we are not. People don't cause harm to people and hurt and beat people. So when we do it to our own children, man, it hurts us, man. But that's the only way we can get them under control. Which is,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It's crazy work. It's crazy. My wife told me a story about her dad when he whipped her butt. He would say, after he get finished, he said, "Now, you know, I only whipped you because I love you." And she looked up at him. She said, "Well, can you love me a little less?" So,
That's a child, baby. Hey,
look,
yo, man, see it the right way, yo.
yeah, let's negotiate then about your loving, because But yeah,
Yeah,
it
we need
was
to
out of love,
explain that a little more in depth when we tell him that.
right?
A little
What
more in depth, man.
when you say love?
You
Oh
ain't
my
gonna
God,
listen,
man!
man. I gotta whip your butt. You just ain't gonna listen. And then it's really when it comes to like spirituality, man. No one has to listen to anybody. Children should listen to us because it's dangerous out here.
Yeah, it is.
But
It
they
is.
don't have to listen to us. Not at all. No, they don't have to. But they should take
Right.
instructions because they can get into all kinds of stuff if they don't take advice from us. But
Yeah,
Well,
everybody
and they
has their
don't
yeah,
own
realize
mind,
that
man,
we lived
and we
it
just don't
already. We
understand
already
that.
there.
It's bad that some people make their children do what they did in like occupation. Granddaddy was one, so I'm one, but I really want to be a painter. Imagine a doctor being a doctor don't really want to be one. God, nobody. He got to work on you. But his family wants him to be a doctor to keep on the family tradition, but he doesn't really want to be.
right. You want to do something else, you know?
Yeah. Right.
Well,
Yeah, we are our own individuals.
and
You know.
and a lot of reasons why too is because they got things in place now that we can't. They can't, like, if we did discipline them, like we got discipline. There's hotlines they can call. There's people they can call and come in. We didn't
Yeah.
have no hotlines to call.
We have nobody. And if you try to say it, she'll say, get your shit and go over there then.
Yeah, you know you can't do that because you you know. And let's be honest, man.
Hey
A lot
man,
of
hey, I should try to run away like the little rascals. I get the little stick and put the bag,
the
take my
bag
mama
on.
bag and put some food in it. Grab
That's
my dog,
hilarious.
walk up the street.
Yeah, it is.
Grab my dog, walk up the street and turn around. I said, man, what are
No,
we doing?
that's hilarious because that's exactly what my daughter did. She said she was going to go run and live with her dad. I said, you know what? Pack your shit and go. And what she packed was some toys. She was
Yeah,
See,
walking down the street, and I'm like looking out. Obviously, she was little, so I didn't want her unsupervised. So
right.
I'm peeking out the door, and she keeps turning back, tears strolling down her
right.
face.
Yeah, because she wanted you to stop her. She wanted you to say,
I
okay,
didn't
baby,
know.
don't go nowhere.
She came
Yeah, she
back,
wanted
but
you to say that. Uh-huh.
hilarious.
Yeah.
But they think,
Oh man.
hey, okay, fine, I'm gonna just go run away. Okay, let's see it then.
Have at it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Man.
all
won't
came
get
from watching
far.
television.
Jenny
You
said no,
know, we
we
try
had
to do.
900 numbers. Yeah, that's all we had. It wasn't
That's
no
right.
my mama
Mm-mm.
abusing me or hit me whip me. We can't, you know. But again,
We
that's
would
why
have thought
we
it
at
was
where we at.
insane, man. We would have thought a child was insane. Talking about you called the police on your mama for whooping you. What?
I know. You'll get more whoopings for that.
Yeah,
You
you
so well, you still
brave.
got to go home, little buddy.
Yeah, right. You know, you was just hanging out with me. Now you got to go back.
Yeah, you got to go home.
Yeah, man.
Mom,
Listen,
my mom
I,
would always say, "Do it. I need a vacation."
see, that would scare me
Right.
right there enough. She said vacation. Nah, I definitely am not about to.
Uh-uh.
Your mom played no
No,
games.
I'm telling
no,
you.
sir.
Mm-mm.
My mom was lenient when whoopings came because she got a killings when she grew up. So she said when she had children, she wasn't gonna be beating on us. So she mainly talked to us, man, and told us, we didn't get a whooping for something that we didn't know that we were doing. We didn't know the dangers in it. We wouldn't get whoopings. But if we did something that she told us not to do, then we would. But a lot of kids got whoopings for the first time they ever did it.
Yeah,
And hey,
and that's
mama,
crazy.
yeah, bro, I didn't know taking that wood from there and making a fort was stealing.
Right? I was just making forwards.
Yeah,
I was making a fort. See, I didn't get a whooping. My friends got whoopings, man. The
well, but
United Realty dude came by and said, "Hey, where y'all get this wood from?" We said, "Right over there." They said, "Well, they building a house over there. Let me get y'all. Tell me where y'all live at. We're going to your house." And man, I didn't get a whooping because my mom said I didn't know that I was stealing, but the other children got a whooping from their parents.
that's crazy. Well, and see, that was pretty much my mother. She would, if I did something like that, she would talk to me about why it was wrong.
Right, exactly.
And then, like you said, if I went back and redone it or redid it, then yeah.
Yeah, you get your
Yeah,
butt
because if
whooped.
you don't know no
Hmm.
better, then it's just you, like what I do. You're not teaching me nothing by not telling me what I did wrong.
That's
You're just
right.
Yeah,
whooping me, and I don't know what I did.
Look at the
yeah.
baby when they 2 years old. You can't even keep nothing on the coffee table. You gotta keep saying, "Stop, leave that alone," because they don't know.
They have no clue. They know,
Put that
and then
down.
They just
and
know they want it.
That's
right.
it. They never seen it. What is this? I remember I was in the back of a Cadillac, me and our whole family, and I don't know why they had me at the door. But it was a four-door Cadillac, 77. And there was a lighter in the back, like in the door where you could light your cigarettes. I said, what is that? I pushed it. It didn't
Oh
come up. The
no.
next thing you know, it said ping. I said, what is this? I pulled it out. It was red. I stuck my thumb to it.
Oh no.
I
Boy,
didn't need no whooping for that because I knew not to do that no more.
he said, "I got it. I got it." Hold on, let me give a quick update. They just posted. This is at 10:33. Says Diddy attorney Mark. I don't know his last name, so I'm gonna say Agnifilo. Agnifilo, I guess.
Agnifico.
Arrived alone and is the only known arrival at this time. So still nobody talking, people. I seen people come in saying, "What's the topic?" We are discussing the trial for Puffy Jacket. This is supposed to start today. Well, it is starting. They're just doing jury selection today. And when the reporters come back on, then we'll bring the sound back. But right now, we're just hanging out, man. We're just having fun. We're just kicking it, right? So
Just
Don't you
kick it,
think it's
man.
ridiculous how many attorneys he has?
yeah,
I don't
and
know
the
why
thing,
people do that. That's crazy.
yeah, it is. It's wild. And then some of them that gave him like for instance, they were trying to do the what was it? The
mental.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was doing was
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah. The attorney that gave him that why that's not gonna work.
Nah, man, that's what I'm saying. He got 3 attorneys, and an attorney's job is to the court first. God Almighty.
Mm, yeah,
Woo!
yeah. It's
Woo,
going.
woo. And they don't want his money neither, man.
Nope. He tried to give him that, and that's a hard thing. Hey, what Cat Williams say? How do I pay 10% of nothing? You just stuck, dog.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a hard feeling, man.
Right.
So,
It's
Because they
terrible.
man,
don't want nothing. They just want you to get what you deserve for doing that shit.
yeah. Jenny says there's no accountability or moral compass
Oh,
is
no.
his excuse. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hey, man, we are bred for that, man. Look here, when something good happens, God did it. Something bad happens, the devil did it. We don't ever do nothing.
DJ,
Right.
Yeah, we don't do nothing, man. The devil did it or God did it. When you gonna do something?
that is so true, man. You speak volumes on that. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
true.
man. It's
That is
true,
real
but the
spill
truth
right
is
there.
not. But the truth is not popular, so we stay in that that world of make believe.
Yeah, yeah, and that goes to, like she said, no accountability. Yep.
None.
Hey, the
Hmm.
panel's open, everybody. If you want to come in, just for the one, we can bring you up. I see a lot of you laughing about our stories of growing up and getting our butt whipped. It's okay. If you got a story, come on in. Hey, look, we're not judging. We, as you can tell, we all got our behinds beat, right? So,
That's
but
right.
We don't judge nobody here besides Puffy Jacket.
that's it. That's the only one, and he's asked us to do this because he's
That's
got
Puff-
so much stuff. Yeah,
exactly
but
it.
listen, we have fun, man, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm thankful for the people that this platform has brought into my life. Y'all are cool, man. Y'all are really cool.
Hey,
So
man. Energies meet, man, before we even say anything to each other.
that is true. That is a true statement.
Nothing is by chance, man. But you're gonna have to have the negative in with the positive. That's the balance.
You do. That's why I pray for discernment. You know.
That's right. So you got to always answer intellectually and never with emotions.
There you go. Take that out. Take
Yep,
it
to
out. Jenny
negative
says I'm
people.
not bad mouthing victims, but you need critical thinking. If you experience terrible the first time, yeah, then why do you go back? Yeah, well, and to the degree of that, I have to say, I think depending on what it is, why you go. I'm just gonna say because I think this is just my personal opinion. It's not facts. I think because we get infatuated with the feeling of something good, and so
That ain't a thing. That's real.
you
It's real. I was in a DV
Yeah,
violence.
that ain't no thing. I did. Me too.
Yeah. And like the thing is like you see the good in them when you first met, and so when they do that bad thing just that one time, and then you're like, well, they won't do it again. You still see the good in them, and you want to keep bringing that good out, so you stay.
Right. And you know what y'all? My parents were married for 30 years. They went through the cheating, they went through the fighting and all that. And when they got older, all of that stopped.
Yep.
mm,
Because they're too old to do all that foolishness.
he said they got each other now. They good.
Yeah, they too old, but we don't wait. We think we're gonna have a perfect relationship, and people say they're not perfect all the time, so I don't get it.
Yeah, how's that gonna happen? Well, and
I mean,
again, in the
you know,
oath, I mean, in the vows we take, it's a lot of people
For
don't want to
better or
stick
for
by the
worse.
vows. Exactly, for better or worse.
and
You
that's
know,
and don't nobody stick to that. That's for sure.
oh, facts. They don't. Hey, people in the
Because
live, first of all, welcome. Gift my panelists, please. Gift and uplift. Care if you, share if you care, and just keep double tapping and clapping. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
yeah, man. So if people think they're gonna be in a relationship and it's not gonna be any of that, then they don't need to try to even be in one because you're gonna go through all that. For people who've been together for years, man, they've been through all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and my husband been together total, not married, but been together total of 13 years in November, and we've
Yeah,
we've had our spats, but it's the getting through it.
that's
It's
it.
I mean, obviously you don't want to stay in a DV relationship if that's what you're in. So by all means
Right.
try to get out of that. But if it's just like relationship crap that's gonna happen, you want to stick through it if you want to be with that person, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Jenny says a relationship is good, bad, and the ugly. It's how you ride it out. I agree.
Mm,
That's it.
yep. And
Yeah.
you're going to feel so many different emotions, through the years. And like, you just got to, like she said, you got to ride it out.
You got to.
I
You
know.
got to.
Because you ain't going to do nothing but get back in the same mess with somebody you don't know.
Yeah, you got to
Right.
start all over. And
Yeah.
have you
You know?
seen the dating pool lately? Because I don't want no part of that.
Hey, look, and then you
Yeah.
start telling them about what the other person doing was good, and they ain't doing it. But you got rid of him because he won't doing what you wanted him to do.
That's
Appreciating it one,
that right. That's right.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
hard to learn
man.
new people. You know.
People that cheat and go out and cheat with people they're going out to get the same thing they got at home. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's crazy. If you're going to
Yeah.
cheat, why even be with anybody?
Well,
Yeah.
shoot, man. Shoot.
You
Motherfucker
want to
just ain't
have your cake and
satisfied.
eat it too, I guess.
You
You know,
just don't be
sometimes
satisfied at the time. I
at
don't
the
think young
time.
people should get together at all. At all, man.
I
I
agree.
think you should wait till you're like 35 to start looking for someone. Because the brain,
There,
the light doesn't turn on until like 30 for guys. I know that.
Living
well, there
proof.
are
You're right.
some of those lucky couples that meet in high school and go through life together, but that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
rare.
It's
That's like
very rare.
2%. 2%, baby. They
Yep.
do exist, but it's only like
Yeah.
2%.
Yeah. I got a friend who played high school football with him, and he dated this girl we went to school with. She was a cheerleader, and they still together and got kids. I mean, it does happen, but like you said, it's very, very, very rare.
Very rare. Very rare.
You know.
All you hear on
True love
TikTok, you don't hear no
story.
stories like that on TikTok. You hear,
Nah. Nah.
man, I got the hell out of there.
Hey, good morning, cousin. How you doing? Welcome to live. How you doing?
A lady kicked me out of her live. I'm like, why you want to point out just the bad parts of a relationship? Why don't we talk about what the good parts of it was? She just threw me out that live.
Like what day?
She was
But that's a
mad
true
that
thing.
day.
Yeah, she was still mad at the issue that she was going
Yeah.
through.
She wanted to keep the
She's like,
mad issue going.
yeah,
Nah, we don't talk about nothing positive, no good things in no relationship. We don't
not
want to
here.
remember those. You know what I mean?
Jenny says, "How you gonna cheat on me with someone who's ugly or fugly?" Yeah, and that's a look. That's even more of a
Let me tell you
disrespect. That's
something. It
you
is.
know.
Hey,
Ah,
look,
that's a whole
man.
new level.
But you got to look at it, man. Once you become a grown man, all that should go out the window.
If you
Teenager
want to be
guys,
with someone, you be with them. You don't
right?
like. It makes no
It's
sense
the
to
Yeah.
me why people
it's
cheat.
the elements in the person, not on the person.
What's
Oh
the
my
matter,
goodness.
cuz? You said you're not feeling well. What's the matter? Well, in our teenage years, I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, and I'm gonna speak for me. In my teenage years, I was all about being a panty raider. That's it.
Hey,
That's it.
brother. That's it, man. That's it.
That's it. I wanted
That's
to
it.
collect the draws. That's it. So I can tell my
That's
homies, look,
it.
hey man, she had these lace panties on, right? Well, yeah, she was, yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, man.
A
Yes.
lot of times during when
Yeah.
you're teenage, they just go have fun. I mean, not I when I was like I don't know 15, 16, I was a hoe.
She said, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I
But
got
now
mine.
that
Y'all
I'm
Hey,
got
older,
my
yours.
I'm like,
mama.
dude, now that I'm older,
My
I
first
look
baby
back and I'm
mama.
like, what the hell was I
Hey,
thinking?
man. Hey, man. My mama told me that my first baby mama was cheating on me. I said, Mom, she a hoe. She said, all women are hoes. What you gonna do about it? You
Yeah.
gonna stay or go?
Like what? Oh, you got a cold, cousin? You got you some medicine over there? Yeah,
Yeah, I
man,
say
that's
women
true.
be like that, vertently or inadvertently. They don't know that they're actually being, they're just, experiencing, like you say, man, getting experience. That's all.
That's all it
Yeah.
is.
I don't think they're necessarily hoes. I don't,
No,
A
I
hoe
think
gets
it's just like,
a hoe get paid.
yeah, it's just something you go through as you
That's all
grow up.
experiencing it. That's
that's
all.
it. That's it. Hold on one second. We got an update at 11. It says jury selection is underway. As the judge spoke, Puffy Jacket sat with his lawyers. He wore a sweater over white, over a white collared shirt and gray slacks. And there's still no reporter talking, so we're just still showing outside of the courthouse. So we're following along.
Yeah, because wasn't there talk about him like not being able to be there or something?
In the beginning, yeah, they said he wasn't going to be there, and then they moved to he was only allowed 5 outfits.
Yeah, no suits.
Yeah, no suit, no suit, just 5 outfits, and he got to wear a button-up shirt, the slacks, and I'm assuming the sweater is probably like the sweater vest over, um, the collared shirt. If I had to, of course we can't see it, but I think that's probably what he's got on.
Have you seen that sketch of him? He's looking
Yeah.
bad these days.
Yeah, I saw the grade. It was all, you know, and don't
And
get
he's
me
super,
wrong.
super skinny.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Being in that situation would definitely bring that on you, but
Yep.
um, it's a stark difference from when he first went in for sure.
Well, and he don't got that hair dye in there.
Yeah, yeah, you don't have makeup artists and stuff like that.
Yeah, better use some shoe polish.
You got because man, he's going through it, and I'm sure he
He's,
owes people stuff too. Because remember the phone calls that he used to get from people that would
yeah.
use their what's it called? I forgot.
Um,
It's a PAC, I think is what it's called when you can
is
use
that
the
what it
phone.
is?
I think so. So you got to pay
Yeah,
them people back.
it's hitting him hard, and you could see it.
Yeah. What I want is just. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. We've come on here. We've covered it for what years now. It seems like about a year and a half. But and it doesn't look good for him. But if we are wrong, I do hope he gets the justice he's supposed to get. Like as far as you know, but I just from what we know, as far as just what we've seen, and going back and listening, like I said, listening to the lyrics,
Hmm.
uh, and it seems like the lyrics in the '90s were admission to what they were doing. We just thought it was good music. Uh,
Yeah, and then you look back on some of the interviews he did back then as well,
Hey
and shit
man,
he was
plain sight,
saying.
plain
yeah,
sight, man. All the time,
Yeah.
all the time.
yeah,
Shows
um,
the minds of the people where their minds are.
yeah. What was the song we was talking about, Jenny? We had mentioned a song by J Lo, and I can't remember the name of it, but I was telling people to listen to it. It's gonna be all right. That's right. I'm gonna be all right. And if you
Mm,
listen to that song, everything she's saying is what we are now finding out. Like, um, as far as she says, had a girl when I first met you. Well, we all know he was with Kim Porter
right.
when he met her, you know,
Yep.
and she said you used to say I couldn't do it, but I did it, because and at that time. Now, a lot of people don't recant or bring up the fact
I
that
know.
she
They
had
did a
already
print.
stated that he would
It's one
basically
of the band singers, but I did. What do you
he
mean
had to
explain?
he had to approve what she wore, right?
Feet I killed before.
And so that showed that he was pretty much he was trying to run everything in her life,
Yeah.
you know.
They just try
Um,
to get some gas and no, we
there's
ain't
some
doing
more
money.
lyrics in there that she says
I
that
forgot. We got some cereal at home. She said, yeah, I
um
think so.
hey Charlie, mute your mic for me, brother. Thank
He
you.
busy.
She says some other lyrics in there that it's telling now that we are here at this moment. Um, it's telling now, and I want to say even she said something in there about it was based around. It sounded like it was based around what happened at the club with the pew pew, right?
Mm.
But I forgot how she put it. I'm gonna have to listen to the song again. Just like, oh, okay. Jenny says, but J Lo was established and he couldn't run her exactly. And in fact, her mother, and the people in her uh, public group was telling her that she needed to leave him alone anyways because being with him and the trouble that he was getting in then was going to affect her career, and ultimately is what she left uh, after the shortly after the incident in the club. So again, if we go and we listen to the music that was out, and that was what 99, 2000, somewhere in there. So it wasn't, it already was telling us what was going on. So when we factor that in, although we're not here to say if he's innocent or guilty, we would be remiss if we didn't state facts that things don't look good for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if you look at everything in its whole entirety, it
Yeah.
don't look good.
It don't, and we talking about from people being unalive because I don't know. Lately, they was talking about some poison, and we know that's Kim Porter. Uh, forgot his name, but she was dating him too at one
Because
point.
everyone was dying of pneumonia, right?
Pneumonia, right? Exactly. So, I mean, if he does get off, if and that if is ginormous, but if he
Hmm.
does get off, it has to be on who he is, uh, his financial thing, the celebrityism of it.
Yeah.
Uh, because if it's strictly off law, I just don't see him doing it. Okay, we
Well,
have
and
what's
see,
up?
and he ain't even being tried for any of the
Yeah,
unaliving that we are suspicious under.
right. He's not even being. And was it Jenny? Somebody? It might have been Jenny. I wonder if we were saying it. Wonder if the prosecution team has something like a trump card that they're gonna put out and play it during the trial. You know that's gonna be hard for the defense team to overcome. Sorry, I'm seeing an update come in. That's why I'm looking this way. It says Judge Aron Submaranian, I don't know his name. Okay, told prospective jurors that the trial is expected to run about 8 weeks, which we already said that, but could go longer than that if necessary. All right, so what was once said it was going to go 8 weeks has now been uh, 8 weeks or more if necessary.
Is that, I don't know, is that a normal length? I don't
Heck
know.
yeah, look how long Doug was going. He went for a whole year
Oh
with
man,
some
yeah.
change.
And listen, I don't even know why it went that long because I can pick up on the stuff that he was saying that definitely incriminated him. It's just wild. It's just wild. But at the same time, it's still a money grab for the higher ups when this happens. You
Yep.
know,
And I
and
still think that Diddy's just the tip of the iceberg.
yeah, yeah. I think he's the bait.
Hmm.
I'm just wondering who are the big fish that they're trying to catch.
Oh, we'll never get them because they ain't the same skin tone. Only the dark skin
Facts.
tones get caught in sexual things and get destroyed. But the other ones don't. No, 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 no. He's a distraction, so one of them won't. Epstein was in the same situation, man. Same thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And I wish I had. To your point, because I wanted to look up. There was I, I need my other phone, but there's some names of kids. It's about 6 to 8 of them, and on this particular post, those kids' names on it,
Hmm.
it says their families were paid off to be quiet, and
Yes,
it
sir.
shows the amount that they were paid off,
That's right.
right? But the person that
Hmm.
they was talking about being their abuser is now in his second term of presidency.
Oh yeah, man. Ain't no doubt about it.
So
That's what goes down, man. The devil is the god of this world, y'all, and the entertainment, everything we see is all ran by devilish men who do devilish things. Ain't nothing pure. Ain't nothing for you. Hey,
yeah,
man.
not even
Hey,
gospel
man.
music. Yeah, yeah.
No, exactly. That's circular too.
Hmm. You're
Yeah,
right.
devil's everywhere, man. Because the Bible told us the devil is the god of this world. They told us that at the closing chapter. So ain't
Facts.
nothing gonna be good here unless individually you yourself.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a collective of everybody get along and it's just gonna be so good now. It's not designed that way.
Hmm.
We're not in that order. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That doesn't change until the sun. is in Aquarius. It's in the fish right now. So we got this.
Yeah, the Aquarius, right? Right.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's right. Aquarius when everything will change and we'll go back to the republic. Everybody will be on law, not policies. You know, you have your rights. You know, they'll be using real money that has value to it. You know,
Right.
things will be real. But right now, things are fake and counterfeit.
Yeah.
But it
You're right on
appears to
that.
be real to us. You know,
Jenny says,
it's
but the
wild, man.
media also said that MJ said that about MJ, and he was innocent. Yeah, he was. That's why I want to know. I want. I wish I could. I wish I had my other phone because what I've been meaning
But
to
you know
do.
what?
What's that?
The thing about it is, we don't know if he innocent. See what I'm saying? We don't know that.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
I mean, we
That's true.
don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we know people came out and said it didn't happen.
Yeah,
But
and people said it did happen. You know?
yeah, yeah. You got a valid point on that.
Yeah, we don't know nothing, man. We can only give what we think and what our opinion and our and what we think. That's it. That's all we can give until we're in our own house.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only
I'm. Tr-
time you know something is when you're home.
that's facts. I'm
you
trying to
know,
see. I'm sorry. I'm
if
trying
you
to see
don't
who
eat,
this
you're
guy
gonna be
walking back and
hungry.
forth. That
You
is
know.
true. That is true. I want. I want to. I actually want to. I know what I'm gonna do tonight.
Go ahead. I'm waiting.
I'm going to take the names and I'm going to research them myself and see what all this. Because um, they could be all lies. But we will say we have seen him in the. I'm talking about Cheetolini now. We have seen him at the Jeffrey E. parties. We've seen him at the
Mm-hmm.
Diddy parties.
Mm-hmm.
So he has been found liable in court of essaying. I forgot her name, but he had to pay her a lot of money. E. Jean Carroll, I think is her name. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we've had the teenage girls talk about it him coming in the dressing room during the pageants um, when they weren't fully clothed. I mean, it's just I don't know. You know,
Oh yeah, they going there.
yeah, but he's not in
Man,
there.
it's wicked.
Like he literally
Right.
got found guilty of essay and walked out of the courtroom, and so I don't. You know,
Dang. Woo.
well, yeah, we're
It
gonna
goes
see. I'm gonna
on, man.
follow
That's
that.
for sure. It
Yeah,
definitely goes on, man.
yeah, it
I,
do.
I don't
I
even like
I
looking
definitely
at
think
children
it's
actors.
all of them. They all are covering it up for every single one of them.
They have to,
Yes,
man.
they
They
have.
That's a whole world they're in, man. They better than we are. You know what I'm saying? In their
Hollyweird
eyes.
at its
Mm-hmm.
finest.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't like watching kid actors because I know what they're going through and what they're gonna go through.
Don't it hurt?
Yeah, man. It really does, man.
Oh
They have
man,
no idea. You know what
these
I'm saying?
comments on here are crazy. I'm sorry, somebody just posted justice for Justin B's booty hole. This
Oh,
these
that's
people are
crazy.
wilding out on here, man.
Crazy.
Okay.
Man,
Yeah.
they wilding. I
I don't really
listen.
care about his booty butt, but I hear
Yeah, I see where they're
you.
going.
See, and
I mean,
nobody's even talking about that.
and that's what
Yeah,
that's what
man.
Charlie was talking about. That's what Charlie was
Yeah,
talking
you
about
got to do
earlier.
that in entertainment. You have to do that. That's how the devil gets down, baby. And the devil runs entertainment. God doesn't do that. Oh
Yeah,
my God, no. Yeah, you got to do the. Woo! I learned about this in 2001, man. About what everybody's talking about now. I knew then, and I was trying to tell people then, but I was sounding crazy to them. I said you have to get down in the music industry to be a part of
you
that,
got
man.
to. You got
Yeah,
to.
you got to. You got to go
I
to the casting couch. You got to.
see. My cousin mentioned it, but of course, I didn't catch on to that. But when I started to catch on, it was 2011, and how that happened. I ended up finding there's a compound in Northern California that they meet at, have their meetings, and
Mm-hmm.
when you meet at this, of course, it's invitation only. It's a secret location, but and they have a 40-foot owl statue, and they don. Okay, you know what the hate group? There's three of the same letters. Um,
Wow.
they wear the same garb as them, but instead of it being white, it's red. Of course, that's for the blood.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so
that's when I started to look into it more and found out what you're saying, what they have to endure if they want to
Yes.
make it.
Hey man, I met a guy. I was hustling to him at the time, and he told me that he used to run track and he was a football. He played football in Spain, and he also told me he was a rapper back in like '82. So I was
Hmm.
at his crib chilling. I was like, "Yo, man, you said that you was a football player, man. Let me see your tapes." He said, "Go and put it in VCR." I sent the VCR. So when I pushed play, it was a guy rapping with backup dancers like on an Arsenio Hall show. I said, "Hey man," I said, "Yo, that's you, man." He said, "No, I told you I was a rapper." He said, "You be coming over here talking about Illuminati stuff. You know that's TV station I'm on?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "The guy owns 3 TV stations in Spain." He called me out to his house, told me he could make me famous in Spain. He said, "What do you mean by that?" He said, "I can give you all the cars, all the houses, all the women, but I just need you to be my companion every now and then." My homeboy said to me, he said, "Charlie, now you know I'm a G." I asked him straight up, "You mean to tell me you're gonna be going down on me?" And the dude was like, "No, I'm not saying that. I just need you to be my companion whenever I need you to come be with me." My boy said he thought about that hard as hell. He
Mm.
said, he thought to himself, he said, "Now I'm a man. There's no way I'll be giving my body up to a man for money. I already got it. I feel like it, I would feel like a woman." So he told the man that he wasn't interested. And the dude threw $10,000 in his face and told him that he can have any rapper in America that he wanted. And then he showed me his plaque. His name of his group used to be called Bad Boys back in 1982, and it's spelled the same way Bad Boys spell their logo today, man. He showed me his
What?
Arsenio Hall show interviews. He showed me, matter of fact, the San Antonio Spurs were in the championship that year, and he called the strengthening coach because he knew him. I said, "Man, you was right there." He said, "Yeah, man, but I didn't take it, man." And so he lived in
Dang.
Bonneville in the neighborhood. All he had was a BMW, a big fat BMW in the hood. So I think he came out with. But he did play football in Spain and all that.
But he kept his dignity.
He kept his manhood, brother.
Yeah. That's
Yep. I met a real dude who was gonna go through that, but that was in Spain though. So it ain't no
yeah.
different. It's not no different in America, man. Which I was already telling him about. You know, these guys got to be gay, man. They have to be happy. They got to
Yeah, they
be.
got to be happy
Yeah,
in
they
order to
got to
get
be happy.
if they want to get
That's
to
right.
them
That's
that
right.
level.
Women too. What do you want to be with? A child, or you get done, or what? It's got to be one of the two. Or do you want someone in your family to be sacrificed? It's one of the two. Because
Yeah.
you know you done talked all this shit about people about do the right thing. You need to do something with your life. And so
Hmm.
you could be right back down there with them.
Or yeah, that is true.
That's right. Or, because, I was always wondering, man, these guys are good one hit wonders, but they good, but they don't have nothing else anymore. Then I started to think, oh, they didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So bye bye. Bye bye. See you later. If
Yeah,
I
now
can't
that you
use your
look back, it
soul,
all
bye bye.
makes sense. Because
Yeah,
there
it all
there
makes
are
Yes.
sense.
good people that are out there and they're really good at singing, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
They don't
And
Yeah.
come
that's
out with
true.
nothing
Yeah, because they
else.
don't want to do it. Yeah,
Hmm.
they don't want to take that. They
They
don't want to
didn't
do
sell
that.
their
I'm sorry.
soul.
There you go.
Hmm.
There you go. Shocking, man. This world is wicked, man, especially the United States.
And then you see all the ones that that aren't that good and they're making it
Yeah.
far. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't think Drake is that great of a rapper and he's making it pretty far. I don't think Drake is
He's
that
a
good. Am
commercial
I
rapper.
wrong?
You're exactly right. He
No.
is not like
No.
streets with it.
No. You are not wrong by any means. Just you
You
are on
sure ain't.
point.
You sure ain't. You sure is. We
You are
know the
on point.
deal.
Because
Yes.
he's like so
Yes.
big and I don't see why.
Yeah, because
Listen.
it's been commercialized. It's commercial.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's think about it. You go from
Because that's what I
Degrassi
just did
High.
this morning.
You go from
You know,
Degrassi High
so when
to
we're good to go.
being like the next greatest thing in hip hop when you align with Lil Wayne and Young Money. But
Yeah.
but then you also look what I mean. Kendrick Lamar put us on to what he's doing too.
True, true,
You
true.
understand? So I forgot the YT guy's name that they said was basically he's uh Drake's handler. I forgot his name, but and then Drake was messing with the Millie Bobby Brown. I don't know if you watch Stranger Things. I'm a Stranger Things buff. So,
Yeah.
um, okay, the girl that's 11 on there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, Drake, when she was young, Drake, did some bad things to her. So, that's how he's getting his status because he's not a good. He's not. In fact, if we can be honest, Bestie, he's not a good rapper because he has a ghostwriter. Somebody
I
else is
was
writing for
I was about to say that, man.
Right.
And Eminem too, man. Proof wrote for Eminem all his stuff.
Yes, yes, he did. He did. And so and he don't get the credit for it. You understand? So
Hey,
when we
man, we
come to
created the car. We ain't get credit for it.
yeah, no, we ain't getting nothing. We get nothing, and that's when you dive into it deeper. That's how you can start seeing how we get to where we are now because it's been built on a fake foundation anyway. You know what I mean? Like nobody they didn't get the credit that they should have gotten. The people who really orchestrated or built it, and
That's
so
right.
they didn't. When we say they, I got to put this out there too because there's some people who don't understand how we get down. When we say they, we're not talking about all white people being racist or something like that. Okay, so when I say they, I'm talking about the people that were in higher positions in the music industry. They didn't want hip hop at all in the beginning. The only time they started to want hip hop or rap is once they figured out, hey, we can not only profit off of this, but we can also make it to where they eliminate each other off of this music. And
Right.
so
Yep.
there we have it.
That's why I say rap music has done nothing for the community, but got the jails. People who own jails got them rich. Got the people who own liquor stores got them rich. People who own clubs got them rich.
That's it. That's it.
Hey, and people who own funeral homes got them rich.
Facts, facts, fact, and
That's
carry
all.
the same narrative as it did, because you have division amongst ourselves, just like they did back in the transatlantic trade thing, because
Mhm.
they have some people that was able to be in the house. Some of us was able to be in the house. Some of us was be in the field. But that was designed to also create division between our own kind. You know, I saw something. This was years ago. It was a post somebody was saying, and it had a picture of a cargo, African cargo on the ship, and it had two men arguing back and forth. And one guy said, "Y'all over there arguing about whose shackles is shinier than the other, and overlooking the fact that we're all in shackles. That's where you get the crab in the pot syndrome from, what we call it.
Yep.
You
Yep.
understand? So
It's
there we
because
Yep.
learn.
the higher ups thrive
I
on
could be.
diversity, and
Yeah.
they don't want even people of the same color to have the same opinion, because then
No.
they'll figure it out and go against the higher ups.
Well, the
Exactly.
higher ups don't care about nobody. We the only
But
Nobody.
they
ones
damn
that like
selves.
do that. They don't care about nobody. Everybody is an
Mm-hmm.
animal in the United States.
Hmm.
An animal is a male or a female. When identifying an animal, they say
Hmm.
male or female. When identifying a human being, you would say masculine and feminine. And we don't
Period.
write, when they ask us are we male or female, it's supposed to ask us are we feminine or masculine because we're
Yeah, but
looked
we don't hear
upon
that.
as animals. No, we don't hear it because we're animals to these people.
Hmm.
Only because we wrote on contract that we agreed to be animals, but we don't understand legalese. But legalese don't give a damn though.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the truth doesn't care that you don't know the truth.
He don't.
Mm-hmm.
Or us people, no, not at all, man.
We got two updates. Hold on. We got jury two identified himself as being a licensed massage therapist. He said his sister was in a domestic abuse situation with her ex-husband, and that he first heard about the
Well, I
Puffy
see it.
Jacket case on WNYC radio. I'm not sure what that station is, but
That's that. Now the second update says the judge spent a good 25 minutes addressing the jury about general issues and outlining specific concerns that they would have to identify if they are selected. Jurors are identified by numbers only. Okay, so it didn't let us know if jury two was um, excused from the pool or if he is still in. It don't give us that, so not really sure what that update stood for or what by him saying that what that is going to do for him. I'm not sure or her.
Yeah,
No,
I
he
don't
he is a
think that
he.
I think he's gonna be excused from it because I think I don't they don't want anyone who's related to DV or anything like that in the jury, do they? Because they don't want him to
I,
favor.
right, right. That's what I heard the reporter saying. So um, I would assume that would cause him to be excused. Yeah.
Puff Daddy
Mm,
gonna get in contact with two of them jurors, or at least one, get him $1 million to say, nah, he didn't do it. And that's gonna be it.
that's all he
Hey,
needs is one.
yeah.
That's why he didn't. That's why he didn't take the plea. Because people are money hungry, man. They will do it. They're in a bad situation. They're only getting poor people. They're not getting rich people.
Hmm.
Yeah, and there's proof that he's already been reaching out to people, So, like I said, we still
Yes, sir.
know that even though he's locked up or incarcerated, he still got reach. You know,
Mm-hmm. That's right. Sure do.
so
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I just threw it right there. Yeah, but I
Those
think
is
he's gonna
coming
get out.
in. We are still talking about the Diddy trial. I'm sorry, Puffy Jacket trial. And I was reading as I was talking. And also, we just on here hanging out. They're not really having any live updates right now. It's only what they're posting on the side, and I was just reading it to you as it come out. But if we are still live and the reporter come on, then we'll play the audio of it. But we are also using the source that we're using is Fox 5 New York. So there you go. And right now, still showing the outside of the courthouse. I haven't seen any of his kids or his mom or anybody like that show up as of yet. I'm trying to see some of these comments.
Karma ain't no joke, man. Karma
Not at
No.
real.
all.
Yeah, it's real
Not
as
at all.
hell because that's where we get the law from and police from and all that. Because whatever you do to someone else, you getting for yourself. Period. You do
Mm-hmm.
something good, you get something good.
Yeah. Now somebody just commented on here, and I don't know who they are, and I don't know the credibility of what they're saying, but I'm gonna read to you what they said. And they said that there was people that were in prominent place positions that told him to chill. Talking about Puffy Jacket, told him to calm down, and he didn't listen. Hey, I don't
Calm
know.
down as in how for what?
Calm down as in
Uh,
quit having the parties or what?
yeah, yeah. Quit doing those things he was doing. Yeah. Hmm.
Well, that's gonna be real hard, man. I mean, how can you be tried? Because all they're saying is essay and he gave me some drink.
Yeah.
But
And that's what I'm saying.
everybody in the party wanted to come to the party, and everybody in there did some type of drug anyway.
And see,
Yeah,
that's what again. That's where they are going to have to prove that he supplied these or put something on these people without their knowledge, and that's I don't
that's gonna
unless
be
you.
hard, man. It's hearsay from
Yeah.
there on in, man. How can you would have to see him fixing the
I
drinks on tape
my
and giving
my
it to
guy, my
somebody,
guy,
yo?
my
I
guy. That's
guess
what I'm about to say. You got to have the. You got to. That's the only way it
got
works.
to, yeah.
It's the
Hmm.
only way it
Or
It don't
works.
go off.
eyewitness.
That's what I'm saying. Court don't go off what you
Hmm.
think it should be or might be.
Right.
Not at
Right.
all. Not at all. And no
Now.
emotions. Like, that's wrong. Hey, you didn't have the proof. It ain't about wrong, man.
Yeah.
You
Now.
think it's wrong. Now you got to
I,
prove it.
I tell you something. Now, if and this is a huge if because we haven't seen or heard anything like this happening, but if you have Justin B take the stand and say something, um, that may be a little
Yeah.
more damaging.
Uh, yeah. And then he still has to prove what he's saying.
Yeah, yeah, and he gives the proof. Now yeah, uh, that, again, it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be
Hard.
hard, man. It really is, man. That's why it's gonna take so long.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Because
same with
everybody done
Cassie
convicted
too.
him.
Yeah,
Everybody who
exactly.
knows about Puff Daddy's situation has already crucified him, saying he did it. Everybody.
Already got it. It's strong in their head that guilty.
That's right. That's right, man. That's right. We ain't got no facts to nothing, just hearsay. But that's
That
what we go off of, hearsay, though. Anyway.
Hot Rod Reaction says free Bill Cosby. Michael Finley
What?
says free Diddy. Smells Addict says free Son of Sam.
I had a homeboy who
They
was
just
in jail
freeing
with Son of
everyone.
Sam. Hey, yo, I had a homeboy I worked with from New York. He was in prison with Son of Sam. And when
Oh,
Slick Rick
really?
came to, yeah, when Slick Rick came to prison, they used to beat him up, tell him to sing that song, Young World.
Are you for real? Oh
I'm
my
for real,
god.
man. Yeah.
Man. Look, I like that movie. Summer of Sam, off of Son of Sam. I like that movie. I'm not gonna lie. And the fact that you said he was in there with him, man, that's
Yeah, he was.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
in I was in jail with a dude who came down to my city to do his wife in and did her in the hotel.
Mhm.
And I was in jail with him, man. Cool dude.
Dang.
He was a
You're
cool
nuts.
dude, man.
You're nuts.
Hey, look, but the dude that brought him down there, he got 20 years just because he brought him down there. And he didn't even know what he was going to do.
He
That's
got
nuts.
20.
20,
Ooh,
man.
I
For
don't know.
just bringing him.
Yeah, but I met dude. We was talking about Call of Duty. We was chilling, man. I said, damn, man, what made you flip? Let me get two.
No, that's
Jenny
crazy
says,
because a
and
lot
at
of
his
times.
party, he had bartenders or staff. Oh, sorry, let me interrupt you, Jesse. Hold on one
No, you're
second,
fine.
sweetheart. Bartenders or staff making those drinks. And then she says, JB was Justin B. pimped out, pimped him out to Usher and the industry. Okay, what
That's
was you
what they
saying,
do to
Jesse?
all.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Oh, I was just saying it's crazy because like a lot of the unalivers seem to be cool people.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they're nonchalant. They obviously trap their victims somehow by being a cool person.
Hmm.
So it's
Yeah,
all about that trickery.
Yeah,
it's all about that trickery, no doubt.
that's it.
Hmm.
That's it.
The devil, if that's what the devil do, or devilish men who do devilish things.
Yes.
You know, because we're grown ups, we know there is no devil.
So we got to be account. That's that accountability we was talking about.
That's right.
There
That's
it
right.
is.
You did it.
There it
You
is.
made the decision. That's right.
Hmm.
You in trouble. We're putting it off on something.
That's the only thing. Yep.
That's
And
it,
then the
man.
fact that they don't have no remorse, that's just crazy. Because, like, I don't know, I'm an empathetic person. So I feel bad if I accidentally hurt someone.
Yeah.
You right.
Right.
You're a rare breed, sweetheart.
Yep. I'm gonna hold you off for about another 15 minutes, and then we'll end the live. Okay.
True.
I don't want to hold everybody up. And I mean, you all can watch. They're not doing anything. If they had more updates, maybe as we go forward into the trial, we'll be able to have.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, I feel like I'm holding y'all up.
Oh nah, man.
I'm
I'm
holding
going
up
through my
y'all.
day right now. Hey,
I'm working.
look here. I don't went to the grocery shopping. I don't went to the dispensary. I'm headed home.
Yeah, yeah,
Guess
I
where's
heard that.
that?
Jenny
The
says
grocery
Puffy
store
Jacket
and
is on trial
dispensary.
for stuff they've been doing for years. Yeah, that is true. That is true. By the way, hey, if you all are not doing anything at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time today, go look on YouTube, Global Impact Wrestling TV, and watch our show at 5 o'clock. Right, coming off a big show that we did Saturday that was called Rise of Legends, and it's pretty cool. I'm gonna tell you, if you're a pro wrestling fan, it's just this man takes. But shout out to you, Scott. I don't know if he's in here or not, but shout out to you, Scott. Um, he takes the WWE 2K 25 video game, and our characters and our likeness is on there, and he just has wrestling shows. And I'm gonna be honest with you, from being in the pro wrestling industry for 26 years, from watching it all my life, he actually does an outstanding job of putting a show together based on video game. Like it's good work that he do. So just a little form of entertainment and funny. And hey,
If you like it and you want your own character, he has no problem making you want to put you in the wrestling game. So
Oh, he
that's
said, don't you have a character, Smooth?
yeah. My
Yeah.
my and shout out to Demetrius. Demetrius on here made mine, but he took it from pictures of me wrestling. I sent
Oh.
him some, so he wanted me to send a picture. I sent him some pictures, and then he created mine. And me and my tag team partner, C Dog. And yeah, man, we look good. But like I said, I won my cruiserweight championship Saturday. My tag partner lost the Universal Championship match, and then we both lost the tag team championship match. But it ain't over. We not done. We'll be back. You know. So, but I said tonight. This evening show is after our big show. So we're gonna see what all happens tonight. And what I like about it is we have no clue on who's gonna win or lose. Everything is generated and controlled by a computer. So we get the innate ability. When I say we, I'm talking about us that are former wrestlers or our current pro wrestlers. We get to enjoy it as fans, where we don't know the outcome or anything like that. So Jenny said G Smooth won the cruiserweight belt. That's right, Bestie. You was there celebrating with us. All right, they're showing an image, a painting of Diddy, Puffy Jacket, and yeah, he still got that white beard. It's salt and pepper up top, more salt than pepper.
Of
He
course.
hugging.
He be
Yeah,
using
absolutely.
Beijing.
That's stress.
That's
That's
for
right. That's
sure.
believe.
Well, I don't know. He looked like Keith Sweat from this side, but but I'm sorry, Keith. I know you live here in Atlanta. By the way, I used to clean his condo back in the '90s. I know you, and I probably shouldn't have said that, knowing what he did with your baby mama. But I'm just saying
Well, I
he
mean,
looked
they're
like
about the same age, ain't they?
roughly, yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
I think R. Kelly older.
Oh no, I think Keith Sweat
Oh,
is older
Keith
than
Sweat. Yeah,
Diddy.
Keith
Yeah,
Sweat's older. Right.
yeah, he's older. But Puffy
Me
Jacket
and
had
Diddy
a
the
thing with
same
his
age.
mama, his baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. I
Yeah, I
still
think he's
haven't
like
seen his
4
kids.
months old. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's some good music there too. They don't make R&B like they used to.
Rochelle, thank you for that heart me. I appreciate that. Thank you. No, you're right,
Our
Jason. Good
time
music
up,
is gone.
sweetheart. Our era is over.
Yeah, it's gone now.
It's over,
It's
man. The
a
90s, the
shame.
80s, that
Oh, I
music
got all
for
this
us
other
is
crap.
over. We're gonna be
Hmm.
like our parents
No, I
listening
still
to
got it on my playlist.
Listen, our music was great when you can hear it come on and you automatically get that. Ooh,
right. I know that's
yeah,
what
I
Keep it
remember
on.
back
our
when
parents
it came out. Yeah, right. Hey, hey,
Yes,
Charlie,
sir. Wait for cigarette.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Yes, sir, man. I remember, man. I remember, dog. I was there, you know.
Yeah.
Just
I
makes
be
your
looking at my
soul
kids. You was
feel
made to
good.
I
this.
remember, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember we used to play slow music whenever you got with a girl kissing and grinding, but you had slow music on.
Yeah.
God, tell me, do the drill music now, I reckon.
Shoot, when my mom, I remember when she was younger, she said they get a record and play it, and they just sit in the living room on the couch in the dark, listen to the music, and then that's how they had they set up, you know. But in
Right.
our time, when
Yeah.
I'm a teenager, we had H Town and knocking boots and stuff like
Hey
that.
man, hey man, I used to put the box out the window. My mom would say, "Don't nobody want to hear that beat music." My mom used to call rap music beat music.
Hey man, look, I
And now
know.
we're the same with our kids. We're like, turn that crap off.
Right,
Yeah,
man, crazy,
yeah,
ain't it? Yeah,
but
so we listen to
in
our
our
music like
defense, what'd you say, Charlie?
I say we listen to our old music like our parents listened to old Motown when we were listening to the newer music. They stayed with their
Right.
genre. Yeah.
Right, right. But see, the jits nowadays, they whining. I don't, I can't get with the. First of all, I don't know what they saying. It sounds like they got a cold in the mouth from
Yeah.
saliva, and I'm like, Yo,
Like
like
they don't use their lips when they talk. It's all
yeah,
behind their.
It's mumbles, mumbles,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I don't, nigga, why is you crying? What is you saying? What did you
I know
get?
what you say.
Hey, look.
And that one girl, read something. She is horrible,
Oh yeah,
and
sexy
she's
red.
platinum,
Yeah,
man.
Right.
her
This girl
Gorilla,
can,
Glorilla.
yeah, man.
Glorilla.
She
Yeah.
look like a
Yeah.
little boy. She look like she about 13-year-old boy. Like,
Well, you know
And
what? I
like,
guess.
who produces on that? They think that it's good.
oh, it is
Oh my.
good because the minds are
Hey,
going to the youth, man.
let me
True. 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 True.
let's get that up for just. Cause I be telling my wife the same thing. I'm like, listen. So there's an engineer sitting at a board in the studio, and they are in the booth, and nobody in the studio had a nerve to say we can't put that out. That don't. Are you gonna
Right,
actually?
brother.
You see what I'm
Right,
saying?
man. Right. We're going to the play. See,
Yeah.
man.
They're like, yeah, that's good. But I'm gonna tell you though, the difference between our music and today's music is we had lyrics in our music.
Right.
Now it's
And
Right.
just a beat.
soul. We had
Right.
soul, y'all. Like it
Yeah.
was it when
Right.
they said something, like it hit you.
You felt it. Yeah. yeah.
And then nowadays, like you're just like, huh? What they
Yeah.
say?
All they hear is the beat. That's it. Oh, that's a five
I mean,
beat.
They were
I do like Megan though. Megan Thee Stallion. I
talking
like
to
her.
me, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Talk, man. But that was the thing. That was the thing. I think that's the difference. You know. And then here we are about to we got people trying to eliminate Department of Education when
When did I mean?
clearly. Hmm, hold on, you cut out on us.
Yeah, you're cutting out.
Just
No,
get rid of
nope, you cut out. We didn't hear you.
it. I'm in a bad era.
Oh, okay, okay, that's okay. Frank says that's right. I'm from Arkansas. We listen radio soul from 3 to 6 and had two way for soul music. Had to wait for soul music late at night. Yeah, I'm hearing the A man and that quiet storm. When you heard that voice, hold on.
Oh man, we didn't even have a radio station until like '83, man.
Ah man, no, we had V1 back then.
You
We
know,
had
a black radio
V103.
station anyway.
Yeah, see,
So we had to
and the
listen.
thing
I knew
about
all the rock and roll songs. Right, we had
you did.
D103. There was the
If you don't mind me asking, where you from? State.
first black station. Everybody said, "Yo, we got a black radio station."
What state you from, Charlie?
That's what people were saying. Once we found one, it went around like wildfire.
You what state you from, Charlie? I don't know if he can hear us.
I know
Man,
you
we got a
you used
black.
to live in Nebraska. Do you
Yeah.
remember have you ever listened to Sweet 98?
Oh yeah,
What
that's my favorite
station?
station.
Yeah, that's like old. They played the best R&B on that.
Yeah, yeah. Man,
Sweet
Sweet 98 was
98.
my favorite. I used to talk to him on Facebook and everything. Like I mean MySpace and everything. hmm Sweet out there, I listened to Sweet 98. Here it was V103 and 97.5, Hot 97. Now I listen to Spotify. I don't even really do the radio too much now because of the music that it plays. Oh, Jenny says to Charlie, what state you from? The host is asking, please. Yeah, I don't know if he didn't hear me or not. Rochelle said I use Spotify. Hey, that's the best way to go, Bestie. I've tried the Pandora. I just like Spotify. And I used to listen to iHeartRadio too, but then that don't I don't mess with that no more. Okay, okay. Just saying says sorry, I'm vacuuming, so I had to mute. No problem. Just saying says Pandora for her. Jenny says I use records. Girl, I hadn't had vinyl in so long, but we got a record store down here in Little Five Points that they still sell the actual vinyl album. Uh, probably could go in there and get some pretty good albums that are probably worth a lot if I had to guess. Just saying says Walmart is starting to sell records again. Oh, for real? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I wonder how long that's gonna last, or if it's gonna be good. It may be good, but a lot of people can't even figure out how to work a cassette tape player. So I don't know if record's gonna work. I don't know. Now my son in Arizona, he's into that kind of stuff. Like he buys albums and just it's for collectors. He's a Taylor Swift. He's a Swifty, and Charlie SCX XCX. So he bought theirs and got them put up. Jenny says from Chicago in like '03. Rochelle said, I just sold 80 albums for $400. See, I told you, them things, they're collector's items too. Frank says, we have 98.3 Good Soul Music Station. That goes on now. And oh, yeah, also, while y'all are on here, because every morning it's a DJ that's in Houston, Texas. His name is Chili B on here. Man, go and follow him and listen to him in the morning. He's a DJ at Texas Southern University, and it's really really good. So check him out. He plays the old hits as well. So and some new stuff, but not new. It's just when I say new, it's music like I don't think we. It's not like mainstream. But Chili B, definitely. All right, look y'all, we have no new updates. So what we'll do, we'll meet back here tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Okay, maybe 9, maybe 9. But I'm gonna say 10, okay? And we'll see if we have any more motion on here that's more than just just nothing at the moment. Somebody says Diddy gone like Chive Dave. I'm sorry, Puffy Jacket gone like Chive Davis mine. Yeah. I don't know about that, but we'll see. Rochelle says, I bet I have 409 CDs. Girl, hey, them CDs, boy, that was our thing. And then when they made it to where you could get the seat like a 3 disc or a 5 disc CD changer in the car, and you could man, listen, I'm talking about the '90s was life. I damn near cry when I think about the '90s because man, I didn't even know how good of a time that was. Frank said just come up like you be keeping up with. Okay, okay, keep up with me. Okay, I appreciate that. I really do, and I do that. I do that again before we go. Hold on, just since my husband still has the big book of CDs. Oh yeah, girl. What you know about driving, going through your book of CDs and driving with your knee to get your CD out? Well, I'm talking about we taking it back. We taking it back, man. Those are the great days. Not good, great days. Don't forget, y'all. 5 o'clock YouTube, or 5 o'clock Eastern time. YouTube, Global Impact Wrestling TV. Check us out. Check us out. Shout out to Whistleblower for Justice organization. We will officially be launching May 28th. May 28th, right? That starts out. So make sure you look out for that. And it doesn't matter. I know we here in Atlanta, but let's be honest, people. There's injustice everywhere. So you can definitely get involved. If you know any attorneys that are not afraid to work for pro bono for those that need it and that's been misrepresented in the past, direct them to hashtag. I'm gonna say direct them to Whistleblower for Justice. That's the number 4. Whistleblower, the number 4, Justice. All right. All right. And we appreciate also, let's not forget, July 1st at 8 o'clock, the new web series that I am casted in, Dope Girls, will drop. Make sure you watch your boy on Dope Girls. You'll know me on there as Stacks. But check us out. Check us out. All right. You all have a good rest of your day. Remember, we coming back here 10 o'clock. Come join us. Shout out to my moderators. Shout out to all of the gifters. And shout out to all of you for joining us today. So we'll be back here. We'll reconvene tomorrow, 10 o'clock, follow the trial. All right? Y'all be blessed. Take care. And we love you.